All right, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Here we go. No games, just business podcast, episode 29. Fellas, we are almost
Mhm.
there to the 30 for Curry, episode 30, but not yet because we on episode 29. 29. I'm Darius. I'm here with my cousin Jimmy. What's up, cuz? How you feeling? How you living?
Feeling real good, man. Living real good, man. Just had a gender reveal yesterday, and
Oh, snap.
boy, all I can do is smile, smile, smile. Got a
That's what
baby,
we love to hear. Bless, bless.
got a baby boy on the way. It's a holiday.
Woo!
Feeling good. All I can do
Nice.
is smile. What about you, Don? What's good? What's good?
Uh,
Don, what's
I
good, man?
I don't have no amazing news like that, but I watched my Miami Heat lose again last night. Uh, then I got aggravated in the group chat. Somebody decided to send me some Patrick Beverly stuff. Then another one decided to send me Carmelo stuff, and I'm just like, what I did to these folks today? I ain't did nothing. I was just chilling. Matter of fact, I ain't bothering nobody in a minute in that group chat, but it's all good.
You were bothering Patrick Beverly. He had dropped 14 straight on y'all. 14 straight.
Lord.
Ooh.
Hey, I was watching it live and I clicked off. I went to the Kings in a Wizards game. I said, I'm not watching this mess no more. Down by almost
Patrick
20. We're
Beverly
down by
like the
25
disrespect
at the half.
you said about him. You said he was just out there running around, so he had to give you some
He
buckets
is.
real quick. He said, "This for
He
you,
is.
Don. Don, this for you."
He even went inside
Patrick
and said
Beverly
too
is
small.
ass.
The smallest dude on the court talking about too small on them.
Wow,
Come on.
Patrick Beverly is ass, but it's all good though.
The disrespect.
ass is
Is it
crazy.
disrespect? Is it
Ah,
really
here we go.
disrespect?
Is Eli Apple ass?
Eli Apple, because of the defense the scheme
Yo,
that he plays,
Oh,
is he
nah.
or
you
is he
can
not?
hide you
Is
can
he or
hide
is he
Eli
not?
Apple. Nah, look at the stats. He's an ass. He's an average quarterback. Cornerback.
Why is Patrick Beverly on every team that's trying to win a championship? Why do they
Bro,
try it
don't
out
do
with
that, Jimmy.
Patrick Beverly?
Don't
What?
do that, Jimmy.
Every
Don't do
contender
that,
wants
Jimmy.
Patrick. They want him.
Who who
Yo,
wants him?
it's with Patrick is if he's on the other team, you don't like him. But if he's on your team, oh, you're all for Patrick.
No, I
It's
wouldn't. I
just
wouldn't want him
the
even if he
opposite.
was on my team.
What? The
Yo,
energy,
you
the
acting like
effort.
Patrick Beverly. You
Oh
acting
my
like this man just affects winning so much.
he's one of the top talkers of all time.
Oh,
Let's
oh
not get it
my God.
twisted. He's one
Oh
of the
my God. All
best at
time.
that.
All
Yes.
time.
Come on.
Yo,
You come
Jimmy.
on. Who's tried Dame? Dame tried. He put the clock in it. Come on. He put the clock in the pocket, man. He put the
You put
clock
the
in the
clock in
pocket.
the pocket?
Bro,
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah.
bro,
Wow.
I
Oh,
can name five
Damn.
off top of my head that he ain't touching. And they was actually elite and could back it up.
yeah,
This
Gary
Who?
man don't be
Payton.
backing
Name
nothing
the
up.
five.
Yeah, who?
MJ,
Of course.
Bird, Kobe, Paul Pierce, Reggie Miller.
hmm
Do I need to keep on?
KG. I mean, I'll go Tim Duncan
Oh
because he
yeah,
hit you with the
KG
subtle
was
shit.
different.
Yeah,
I
KG hit
mean,
different.
KG was different.
I'm just trying.
But those are all
Shaq,
superstars.
Shaq a little.
Name a
That's
role
what I'm
player.
saying.
Name role
Role
players.
role players don't be talking like that because they ain't like
Exactly.
that.
And Patrick's up there. And he's a role player. Come on. Come on.
Draymond, how about then?
Yeah,
Draymond then.
yeah. And he's a glorified role player. Glorified. One of the all-time
Who else
greats.
is it? I
Manu,
can't
but
think of
he
no
don't
other
talk.
role.
Come on.
Rondo
Jason
did talk at
and,
one point.
and these are dudes who are way better than Patrick Beverly. I'm talking about true role players.
Exactly. You're making my point. You should be good talking.
Well, a lot of these dudes don't have the skill set of the dudes you talking about. A lot of role players don't. Patrick Beverly's skill set is his mouth, his energy, his effort, his intangibles, his defensive principles, his IQ, being able to hold anybody accountable. Stop it. Respect Patrick. Come on.
And
Oh my
his
God.
journey to the NBA has been, a lot different from all those guys as well.
Yes.
Undrafted, I think he started off playing overseas. Just
You
you
know,
know what I'm
you
saying?
know what's gonna stop. You know what's gonna stop. Y'all two agreeing on average to bum ass players. Jesus, we is not doing this today.
Average to both.
Other,
I didn't say any.
yes.
I didn't
You up
glorify
over there.
Patrick, but
You up
I
over
just
there. I
said
mean, look at his journey. Like,
No,
bro, just say he's ass
no,
or he
seriously
isn't.
though.
Jesus.
No,
Every week we do this. Y'all
Your
come
journey
with some
matters.
bum
Where you
ass
come
player.
from,
Y'all
how
come
you
with
get there
some bum ass
matters.
It's
player.
crazy.
Yo, y'all two come with some bum ass player, and then y'all defend them, and then I'm the one looking crazy because I'm not rolling with it. Nah,
Do you not
stop
remember Road to
doing that.
Glory on NCAA? Road to
Oh
Glory.
Lord,
It matters, okay?
yo,
What school did
yo,
you come from?
you ain't kept you called Baker trash too, but you ain't say nothing about his
Borderline.
road to
He's
glory.
borderline trash.
Exactly. So is Patrick Beverly.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Well,
If
let's get
everyone
it
played like
started,
Patrick,
fellas.
if only.
Let's get it started. Don, what we got?
I want everybody to like, subscribe, comment, share it, send it to whoever. Get this podcast out there. I mean, we had somebody the other day say he was going to check it out after a bad start. Then we chopped it up, and then bro changed his tune. Was like, you know what? I fucks with y'all. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I know what it is. He a Bengals fan. That's
Uh-uh.
I
Definitely
found
not.
out right there. He a Bengals fan.
Definitely not. I'm talking
Yeah.
about what I sent y'all in the group chat the other
Nah.
day.
We definitely 100% appreciate that.
No
Appreciate
doubt.
y'all all the time for tuning in. We much love, much love. Jimmy, what we got on the agenda today?
Man, we got a little bit of everything. We appreciate truly the fan love. It's a different interaction. Honest T yesterday said she wanted to drop something in the comment, but she was a little hesitant. Now let it say it with your chest, Auntie. Stay 10 toes down. We love all perspectives. All perspectives. Okay?
Yes.
Now we're gonna start with number one, winners and losers of the NFL free agency. That's gonna be a beautiful topic for most teams, but not for my New England Patriots. Yeah. I'm very pissed off actually. So I'm gonna
Y'all
get into
not a
that real
winner?
quickly. We'll speak on it. We'll speak on it. And if this is
Oh,
winning, you know what? I'm sorry. It's
no,
bingo. That's
I
bingo
don't
talk.
got y'all. I don't
We
got y'all
can't
as
answer
a
the phone.
winner. I don't got y'all as a winner. I just don't. I just didn't have y'all as a loser either because y'all did stuff that was, you know.
We gonna see
They
about it.
signed
But I'm just saying, I'm
Juju.
pissed off. Juju on that beat. Come on now. Anywho, from there we will segue into Rodgers. And Rodgers, this guy here is trying to control every narrative in the book. In this era, it's easy to do so. We're talking about Rodgers to the Jets. He says he wants to go there. We'll have our reaction to that, and then we'll talk about who has the leverage, the Packers or the Jets, because this could be a long waiting game. And from there, we will go into F them picks or build from the ground up. Which one is more important? This is a juicy debate. Both have worked in the past. Let's see which one is bound to be the strategy to move forward for these teams in this era. And from there, we will go to the NBA, segue into some, Euros and backs, step backs and back screens and such. We'll go into the playoff matchups. We spoke on them a little bit, our dream matchup a little further back, but we're going to talk about playoff matchups and also what is the scariest of them. What is the dream? I don't know. What is it? A nightmare? I don't really have much of those, but
Yeah,
yeah, the NBA playoff nightmare. That's going to be a juicy one. It's not just about the playoff matchup; it's about certain players, and we'll narrow it down some. And from there, we'll close it out with the juicy topic: the 32 teams in 10 weeks, 3 per week. We're going Browns. We're going Titans. We're going Saints. Let's get it.
All right, all right. NFL free agent winners and losers. You already know I got to start off with a winner. I got to go with the Atlanta Falcons. Now I'm
bro,
saying
stop
I
it,
like it.
bro,
I
stop
like
it.
it. I like it. I like
Oh
it.
my
You
god,
get ahead.
bro.
I should have worn my Falcons hat today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I should have brought it out, man.
I'm sorry.
Because Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, you know, Terry helped that Saints organization build the roster the way they were supposed to do it. And their defensive coordinator, as I brought up before, his tenure with the Saints was the best pass rushing defense in the league since he was the defensive coordinator. So what they're trying to do, obviously, we are horrible at pass rush. So
Horrible
let's start it
period,
off with you signed a big name. What'd you say?
or just
You said
horrible
something.
period.
Okay. Okay. We are not going to tolerate any disrespect to the Atlanta Falcons organization here on this podcast. And we are going to start it off with the signing of Jesse Bates. You go ahead and go out and get a guy like Jesse Bates, one of the top safeties in the league.
Now
One
he a
of
top safety because he on the Falcons.
He was always a top
Jesus,
safety. You name
I can
name
name five better.
free safeties. Name 7 or 8 free safeties that's better than him.
Well, I can't name them off the top of my head, but I mean,
Exactly.
I can just name some
Exactly.
safeties that I know are
Besides,
better. How about just I name some safeties that I know are better?
who?
Uh, Minka.
I give you Minka Fitzpatrick.
We got hold on, let me see some teams. Throw some teams out there. Oh boy, Tonga, not Tonga, the old boy from the 49ers. Know who I'm
He's a
talking about?
strong safety. Oh
Eh,
no, Jimmy Ward was the stronger over there. I mean,
Who else we got out there?
he had one good season so far. We talk about Jesse Bates that's in the prime of his career that still had 8 pass breakup. It's funny because you said they were the best duo in football, right?
See,
Safety
you
duo in
keep pushing
football.
that narrative. You keep pushing that narrative. I said
But
one
they
of the best.
okay. You said that they were one of the best, quote unquote, best safety duos in the NFL at this time with Von Bell and Jesse Bates. And guess what? They pretty much had very similar stats. So when we look at their stats, 71 tackles, just about 70 plus tackles for both of them. And then also they both had 8 pass breakups and 4 interceptions each. So I mean, that's 16 pass breakups and 8 interceptions combined with your safety duo. I mean, there's some safeties that doesn't even have 1 interception. So he's a playmaker. He's a playmaker back there, and that's what we need. We needed a veteran guy that is a leader and he in the prime of his career, and not paying him a stupid amount of money. Like he
That ain't
isn't the
stupid
high.
amount of money.
He's not the highest paid safety in the league.
He like the 4 or 5.
That's fine with me. You could be the 4 or 5, just don't pay him the highest. We okay with that. You bring back Lorenzo Carter. Hey, it's a depth piece, so he'll be in rotation. I think Johnu Smith for that 7th round draft pick was solid. He played with Arthur Smith back in Tennessee. Last time they played together, Johnu had 8 touchdowns. I mean, it's been 2 years since that, but he's also a good run blocking tight end. I like it. Um, you sign long term the best guard in football, Chris Lindstrom, 2-time All Pro. I love that. And you also don't pay. You get a veteran. No, you get a team friendly deal in a right tackle. He was the 3rd highest rated tackle in NFL, but I mean it's pretty overinflated because his rushing grade was 91 compared to his passing grade, which was 66. But that'll help us back in our run game. I think Taylor Heineke, I think the sign was solid because I live in the DC area. I live in the DC area, and I can tell you now, all Washington fans, they love that. That's a fan favorite right there. They love him. They will never say anything bad about Taylor Heineke. They honestly wish they could have kept him, and I think he'll compete as far as pushing Desmond Ritter to maximize his abilities. So we hope that he comes in, he competes, he pushes Desmond to be better, and then David Ayamada, big 300-pound D lineman. He has a good, solid. He gets to the quarterback for interior D lineman. I mean, 4 sacks with the Saints last year. I think that was a solid pickup right there to help with Grady Jarrett. We do still need pass rush, and we still need another receiver, but we made some good pieces. We got some good pieces. We picked up a couple of linebackers, and if we can solidify another wideout, we could find another corner. We need probably another running back. So, but the team itself, the offseason so far, is some solid pieces.
I can't call y'all a winner because y'all biggest issue y'all didn't go out there and fix. I mean, Lamar Jackson sitting right out there, and y'all going to and pick up people that yes, y'all have holes everywhere, but y'all still have a big hole at quarterback. Y'all went and picked up Taylor Heineke. Really? What is he gonna do? Like that ain't moving the needle for me. I'm sorry. Like quarterback is the most important position up out here, and you still have an unproven Desmond Ritter, and then you got Taylor Heineke who was losing his job left and right, and then he'll get back on the field, then lose it again. Like, bro, no, he was losing to Carson Wentz, who somebody I know you don't hold in high esteem. So
Okay, let me ask you a question. Was it him or was it Ron Rivera? Did Ron Rivera just not
oh
like him?
Lord.
Or I mean,
What
they brought in Carson Wentz, and we see that I mean, you like to call a
because
lot of players
obviously he
trash.
wasn't
I'm
like
not. I'm
that.
not a big fan of the word trash, but Carson Wentz has shown he's not a good starting quarterback.
Well, obviously because he was neither one of them was like that. He had
No
that
one,
one little
no one
success.
said
He had
Taylor
that one
Heineke
little
is a
success.
game changer.
So that's my issue with y'all. He's no game changer. He's not moving the needle for y'all to push above these. I like honestly, I don't know where y'all rank in the NFC South right now. Like I would still say y'all above the Bucks because Baker's is ass. But otherwise, other than that, those other two teams like Carolina might go out here and get Stroud or Young. I'm not gonna put y'all over them. I'm definitely not putting y'all over the Saints right now because I would tell you this. I would put y'all above all these teams if y'all went and got a proven quarterback who you know is going and you can depend on. Taylor Heineke, he show up one week, disappear. Desmond Ritter hasn't even thrown 1,000 yards in his career.
Brother,
Like
he only threw
I
four
can't go
games.
off of
You
this.
can't, how you gonna throw 1,000 yards in four games? Like, what are you talking about?
Justin Herbert would have.
Come on, man. He's a third round draft pick. We talk about Russell Wilson, the third round draft pick. Dak Prescott, third round draft pick. You know, these are you need time. So just give him the keys, give him the keys to the kingdom. Let's see what he can do. And you know what? If it doesn't pan out, I'm not overpaying for a quarterback that has missed 10 games in 2 years. Don't get me wrong, the talent is there, but guess what? You see what Philly's doing? They're clearing house because guess who they have to pay? Jalen Hurts. You see what the Bengals are doing? They
We're
lost
not
key
clearing
pieces.
house.
Oh,
We're
listen,
not clearing house.
just give me a minute. You guys are losing pieces on defense. You guys couldn't even keep one of your safeties, the best safety
We
duo in
could have,
football.
but we could
Okay,
have,
okay,
bro.
because
If
guess
you
what?
literally think about it,
Guess whose deals
I'll
are
get
coming
to them.
up? Guess whose deals are coming up? Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. So there are other pieces that you got to pay. We don't have why would I go out and spend money on a quarterback and he's going to take up 75, 80% of my cap and I don't even have the roster to build around him? No, build a roster and you get the quarterback. You never know. If this team is bad, next year,
Y'all know if
guess who's in the draft that we can go get? Caleb Williams. If you think CJ Stroud and Bryce Young is going to be the face of the franchise, I think Caleb Williams is at least better than one of them.
bro. I'll go back with you on that Bengal stuff when it's my turn. Jimmy, you got anything on them bum ass Falcons?
You know, the whole time I was really thinking about who would you rather be at quarterback? Like, would you rather the Jimmy Garoppolo route, the Derek Carr route? Like, what would you have rather the Falcons do? I think getting a bridge quarterback in there, which Taylor Heineke I think is, with a solid defense behind him, we've seen him capable of keeping his team in the game. But you got to have the right pieces around him, and that's what the Falcons are working on. But also, the Falcons are able to run the ball. So I think if you're able to run the ball and then potentially allow Ritter to gradually become quarterback, you drafted him last year for a reason. Like you believe in him in some sense, I hope, and the opportunity really hasn't been given to him. So selling out to go get a quarterback who's mediocre, there isn't someone who's going to change the game without
Yeah, it
messing up your
is.
roster. Lamar,
What?
what?
Yeah,
He's going to mess up your roster.
I'm saying they're going after Lamar, but I'm
That's going
about
to
to
mess.
look up to see how much cap space they still have left. But some of these guys, I mean, besides Jesse Beats and Lindstrom and I mean even McGarry or whatever his name is, he didn't get some crazy contract. It was like
Well,
wasn't it like
that's the
three for
point.
30 or something like that?
Brother, that is the point. We kept him on a team friendly deal. We didn't have to overpay for him.
But that's what I'm saying. When you have, I've seen it time and time again. When you have a legit quarterback back there, players will take a discount to come play for you if you have a legit quarterback back there.
So
And
so then
I'm
why don't we
not
see that with
saying
the Ravens?
who wants to go play with Baltimore and they not passing the ball like that. It was
Yo,
a
this man's
scheme.
crazy.
Oh,
But you wanted Lamar to come to the Atlanta Falcons saying that, oh yeah, if Lamar comes to the Falcons, then players are gonna want to come play. No, it doesn't work that way.
I seen it multiple
I'm not
times.
worried. I'm not worried about a lot of these other teams, man. I'm not worried about the Panthers offense. They got no receivers. They got
Right.
no
They'll
running
get
back.
him
They
in the
just
draft.
they just and they'll get him in the
Bro,
draft. But we
What
can't.
you
But
mean they ain't got no
we
running
can't
back? They
draft the
just got
same.
Miles Sanders. They just got Miles Sanders.
I'm not worried about Miles Sanders.
Yeah, he's never really rocked.
Yeah, one. He had. You know what? You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll get to the running back position.
Um, my one of my biggest winners. You know, I didn't decide to do what Darius did, but I did decide to point out greatness, and that's those Cincinnati Bengals. They essentially got rid of a safety for a lineman who's going to have more impact on this team than Jesse Bates, because they literally paid the same amount of money as the Falcons did for Jesse Bates, and he's going to have a way bigger impact. For Orlando Brown, 4 for 64. Then they re-signed Jermaine Pratt, 3 for 21. That was a steal in itself. They signed Nick Scott the other night, 3 for 12, and then we got some depth with Cody Ford, and then they re-signed some other players that don't need to really be mentioned. But I say this: Brown chose the Bengals over the Jets and the Steelers, and that's with Aaron Rodgers pending to go to the Jets. So he just knew, hey, he coming here to win championships. He said that's what him and Joe Burrow talked about. They talk about winning multiple championships together. Honestly, there's an argument to be said. That's the only thing this team's been missing is an O line. And now you're starting to shore it up. Yeah, you can say, oh, Jonah Williams asked for a trade. Jonah ain't really like that, but okay, that's fine. He got paid less than Mike McGlinchey and Jawan Taylor, and he's better than both of them. So when the trade went down, I mean, when the signing went down, all the Chiefs fans in the Bengals comments talking like, bro, y'all got a lesser offensive tackle and y'all paid him way more. Fuck up out of here. And also, what I will say, man blocked for 2 MVPs. I'm not saying it's destined, but oh, it's really close to being destined that Joe Burrow's probably gonna win an MVP real soon. He blocked for Lamar, he won an MVP. He blocked for Patrick Mahomes, he won an MVP. Hey, and he's the 18th. He's 18th uh tack pass blocking. I think this is just a great signing. And hey, Bengals are finding deals for the players that they want. We just need a tight end, but hey, and another tackle. The draft is right there. We'll see how it goes.
No, actually, I liked everything you had to say there, and I believe Joe Burrow is on the way to an MVP. I believe that it is very much more essential for y'all to pick up a right tackle, especially that one, a better one, and with on a good deal
Left
because of
tackle.
what left, true left tackle, and on a better deal because of what Cuz was saying earlier, you have to pay more people. So you want to get the best quality for the best price right now, and allow your core to be established and make it intriguing for T Higgins to stay, as opposed to leave, knowing that Joe Burrow is protected is the number one thing. But for the Chiefs, you were shitting on them while praising your team when your team's not great and their team is, and you called your team great. But that's neither here nor
Oh
there.
Jesus.
What I will say
Oh
about those
Jesus.
Chiefs is they don't need Brown as much because Patrick Mahomes is more elusive. He's more of an improviser, and
It surely didn't look that way
it's
in the
not
Super Bowl when the Bucks had him.
it definitely did look like that this year against y'all and the Super Bowl on a hobbled ankle with a good line. This Jawan Taylor from the Jags, he's actually solid. He's not top tier, yes, but he's solid. And if you put solid in that system, a system that's been more established and more potent than yours, I feel the Chiefs will be perfectly fine. But I do like the Bengals as a winner. I do.
Um, I'll
Bro had
say
go ahead.
I'll say I give him the dub as well because that is one position that they actually really need is an offensive line. You want to definitely protect the prize in Joe Burrow. Um, but yeah, I think I agree with some points as far as they're just a really good team. So there's just a lot of other really good teams out there, and I mean, Don may differ as far as who's going to be competitive out there in the AFC, but I mean, you guys haven't won the big the big one yet. So you've been there, you lost the conference championship. So Hopefully, this helps you get over the hump, but we'll see.
Bro, there's levels to this, but all
Of
I'm gonna sit
course.
here and say is they
There is
paid
levels to
the
this, and you
Chiefs
haven't hit
the
that level
Chiefs
yet.
paid this man. I agree. Hey, I agree. But there's all exactly there's levels to this. You can't compare us to goddamn Buffalo Bills who hasn't done nothing in
When
this
do we
time
bring?
span. No, I'm saying you saying other teams out there. The Buffalo Bills are the closest team left that has done something consistently, like the Bengals and the Chiefs. So there's levels. There's the Chiefs, then there's the Bengals, and then there's however else you want to put everybody else. Like let's stop acting like the Bengals are on the same level as the rest of them because Jimmy's favorite line is a level of consistency, but he picks and chooses when he uses a level of consistency.
No. So how do you define consistency? Because all right, the Ravens, they, like if you look at their consistency as a franchise, like they've been way more consistent than y'all. But if you narrow it down
In the
to the
regular
last two,
Even
season.
the
and if you
Steelers.
even
In
come
the
on,
regular season.
even we're talking about from the top to the bottom. We're talking about coaching
But
staff. We're
y'all
talking
going
about
off of
personnel.
all-time history.
No, I'm
But
going
you
off
go
for the
for 2
last
years.
decade.
No, I'm going. What have they done the last decade?
Had been more relevant than y'all the last decade.
Mike
I don't
Tomlin has
believe that.
never had a losing season in his
What?
coaching career.
Top
Okay,
five coach
that's all fine.
almost every
That's
year.
all fine. What year that was? Was that 15 when the Ravens got to the Super Bowl? Was that 15 versus the 49ers?
14, 15.
I know.
No, 14 was us. I don't know. It was in there. It
You
was
know what?
It
It
was a
might have.
while
It might have
ago.
been like
I
20.
think
It might have been
2011.
like 2013. 2013.
So it was a while ago. Steelers, when that was 2010, ain't it? When they played the Packers or the Cardinals? Which one was last? I think the Cardinals was last. So
Bro,
that was
but you're
2010 or
acting like
something like
your
that.
team is some prestigious program. Y'all just was
Bro, I'm
became
acting
relevant with the
like,
last
But
2 years.
I'm
COVID.
acting,
you know what was different as
but I'm
well.
acting.
They won those games. They won those Super Bowls. Y'all went to a Super Bowl and didn't win, and then y'all went to the conference championships and didn't win,
Yes.
and
Okay,
you
but
still
the thing,
haven't even hit that
but
tier yet.
my issue with the stuff that y'all bring up these teams, but then this is the same argument me and Jimmy have. What have you done for me now? Don't tell me about what they did with this man. Ben Roethlisberger isn't there anymore. Uh, Joe Flacco isn't there
And they're
anymore.
still relevant.
Their quarterback now is Lamar Jackson, who Jimmy notoriously shits on and say he's 1-3 in the playoffs. Their quarterback now is Kenny
Top
Pickett.
10.
He has not made made the playoffs. So I don't care about Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing record. That's all fine and dandy. That's cool. I agree.
They can
He's a
go in the
great coach.
draft.
But huh?
They can go. They can go draft players.
So can
And
everybody else.
but no,
You
look, see,
just you just said
no,
that.
because
You
he's
just
No,
on
I'm
the
said
saying
money.
that.
what I'm
No,
saying.
hold on, hold
I'm
on.
saying what are you saying by they can go in the draft?
His point is certain franchises have shown through history further than 10 years that they can establish talent, develop talent, and produce something productive on the field with the top dog or without the top dog. With or without top dogs, y'all are still waiting to show you can do the same. You have a top dog there. You're leaning on that. They don't need top dogs in order to keep the train going. That's the
Bro,
point. Y'all are not
they've
there.
always had top defenses whenever they've won. And right now,
The
I'm
top
not
dog
worried
is Mike
about
Tomlin.
no, but I'm saying they've always had a top defense whenever they've won a Super Bowl.
My issue is Don. When you talk, I get it. I get it. The Bengals are a very good roster, but you put them on a pedestal as far as a great roster. They're not there yet. They could get there. I'm
That's
not.
not
I'm not.
true
I'm
because I
not
said
even.
the
I'm not
Chiefs. I
even
said
poop.
Chiefs, then Bengals.
But
I
you
didn't even
said
put them on the
Bengals
level
great.
with the
That's just
Chiefs.
going. You're going off. But then you're saying everyone else really doesn't matter or really isn't
Because
competitive.
they haven't
What do
shown
you mean?
anything. At least
The Bills
what have they
just
done? At least we made it to a Super. No, like I get it, we didn't win, but y'all acting like getting to a Super
the
Bowl is an
last the last
accomplishment in
four
itself.
the last
You
4 years. When the Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, you could compare it to like you could it's not 100%, but like you can kind of compare it to like that Giants Super Bowl run because no one thought the Bengals was gonna go to the
That's
no one
true.
thought the
okay, and then
Bengals was gonna go
They
to the
came
Super
back the
Bowl.
next year. They came back the next year
And
and almost made it right back again. So
exactly, but I said the same
that
thing
just
about the
eliminates
Bills.
that.
I said, hey, they were one play, they were 16 seconds away from a great Tyreek Hill touchdown, and to not make the Super Bowl. You're like, well, we can't do what ifs. Well, we can't do what ifs. What if the Bengals made it back to the Super Bowl? They didn't. They lost in the conference championship. They
But
made it to the Super
I'm not
Bowl.
doing that.
But you're saying that there's no one else that can even compete with the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC.
You're acting like y'all the
Bro,
Saints.
yeah.
When the Saints continue to hit the roadblock with the NFL and the refs over and over again, but they already had won a championship. We can say that team is great and been stopped from reaching greatness because we've seen it before. Y'all have been stopped from reaching greatness mostly because of y'all, not the refs. Besides that, in the Super Bowl,
That's not
besides
true.
in the Super Bowl,
That's
it hasn't really been the refs in my estimation. And then the Bills are it's very similar. It's down to the wire. It's not like y'all dominating anybody. In the first year, like Cuz says,
Bro,
it
we
was
just
an
whooped the
anomaly.
shit out the Bills in the playoffs. Like we dominated them. Yes, y'all. If y'all want to go
I'm
back to
just
say,
debating.
oh, they
Y'all are not
lost to
great.
the
Y'all are not a great team. That's all I'm
they.
saying.
You're a
If
very good
that's what you want,
roster.
if
And
that's what you want, if that's
when I
what
look
y'all
at
want to call it,
competitive teams in the AFC, there are a few other teams in the AFC that
who are you taking over the Bengals besides the Chiefs?
but
Definitively in
it
the
doesn't matter.
AFC,
Like the Bengals isn't going to be my Super Bowl favorite every single year. Like
they ain't never gonna be your Super Bowl favorite because
you're
you are
right.
you.
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right about that.
Shoot, like I'm not oblivious to who I'm talking to. All I'm sitting here saying is, if we're going off of just your favorite line, a level of consistency, the Bengals over since Joe Burrow has been healthy. That's all you care about is when you have one of those quarterbacks that can win it. Because nowadays you need a quarterback that can help you win a Super Bowl. So if I'm just going off of all the elite quarterbacks that's in the AFC. Joe Burrow is the only one besides Patrick Mahomes that have proven that he can get to the big game, and he's gotten back there 2 times in a row when he's been healthy. I get it, y'all want to say it's only 2 years. Well, that should be even more praise for him because Josh Allen has had longer time and has not done that shit. Lamar Jackson has not done that
But we're
shit.
not saying that they're
Deshaun
great.
Watson has not. Bro, but okay.
I just said the Bengals are
So are
number
we?
2.
Oh, so that's what I'm asking. So are we haggling over me saying that the Bengals are great?
That's all I was talking about. Yeah. And then
You,
you
Darius?
was doing a backhand to the Chiefs as if they're not great, which is disrespectful.
Oh Lord. All I said was I talked about they signing. I didn't say nothing about what they've done.
All right.
That's
So
all I said was they're signing.
I just hate that you just see it as is the way you see it is just that the Bengals mainly and the Chiefs is just gonna run the AFC for
That's
the
how a
next
lot of
10
people look
years.
at it. That's how a lot of people looking at it right now. Like
The
it's
Chiefs has been to 4 Super Bowls in
that's fine.
5 years.
That's not
That's
fun.
fine.
It's
No,
amazing.
hold on. The thing about it is, I watch Nick Wright. Nick Wright is
Oh
the
my.
biggest Chiefs fan and one of the people that don't never always want to say the Chiefs are going to run this and Chiefs are going to run that. If he's out here saying, yeah, the Chiefs and the Bengals are the only 2 teams that I'm definitive that are going to be there when it counts. Why are 2 Falcons and Patriots fans trying to tell me a Bengals and a Chiefs fan agree that okay, it's only us 2 really out here? So you sitting here,
Because I don't think that's
every other
true.
team has Josh Allen
I
and
don't
them.
think that's true.
The
True.
Bro,
AFC
the
is
Bills,
stacked.
the Bills lost more. The
But
Bills
but
lost more talent than us, but you ain't talking about
if
them.
Josh Allen's considered a top 5 quarterback in the league, why can't he elevate his game? Why when Rodgers win a
Because
Super
he's a
Bowl?
roller coaster. Because he's a
But
roller coaster. Every
that
year,
doesn't make
Josh
any
Allen has a
that
good.
doesn't make any
He has
sense.
a good and
When is
bad.
the average
He's good
time a
and bad.
quarterback is going to win a championship? Probably past like
Bro,
the age of 27, 28, probably in their early 30s.
bro, that's all fine and dandy. But if you have 2 quarterbacks that are better than you, and they have better rosters than you, it does not matter. Like
It's
you
all good,
sitting here,
Dom. The
the,
Bengals are
the
gonna
Bills, the
run it
Bill.
for the
Oh,
next
let me
10
not
years.
forget. Let me not forget about your other favorite. Oh, half there, half not Tua. Like, bro, stop banking on average. That's the
Bro,
problem.
but
You
you act
bank
like
on
average has
average.
never won. There
Yo,
are
this
role
Not they
players
not
who
Joe
winning.
win.
They're not
There are
winning no more.
Joe
They're
Flacco
not
didn't
winning
win.
no
Joe
more.
Flacco didn't
They're
help that
not
team.
winning no more.
Purdy
Okay,
just made it as a game manager more so. Like it's
Bro,
possible.
they're
Jimmy Garoppolo
not
has
let
done
me
it
ask you
winning
this
twice.
question. Let
anymore.
me ask you this question. Joe Flacco didn't take didn't have one of the greatest playoff runs with the Ravens?
Bro, I have nothing to say for the Joe Flacco because that's a different time.
Okay.
But the thing
This is
about
different.
it is, the thing
That's what I'm
about
saying.
it
He
is,
only
yes,
that's
Garoppolo.
my point right there. He only
nowadays
goes
you
on
need
2
an elite
years,
quarterback.
and he doesn't
Nowadays you
even
need
look
an
at
elite quarterback.
they
Bro,
were trash for the 4 years
bro,
before they got Joe Burrow.
Prime example, the Chiefs. Everybody counted them out. Said the Eagles was gonna win. Why did they win? Because they have a quarterback that's like that. Don't tell me about no Joe Flacco because if the Chiefs
now he's just poo poo. Jalen Hurts
if
is
the
saying
Chiefs had
he's been praising Jalen Hurts all year. He was mad at
if
me.
Jalen
He was mad
if
at
Jalen
me.
Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
Yo, on Good Morning,
If
on
Jalen
Good Morning,
Hurts,
Patrick
Mahomes.
on Good Morning what is it? Good Morning Football, or is that what it is?
Yeah,
they didn't even have Jalen Hurts as a top 5 quarterback. All 4 of them. Guess who they did have? Duval, that man Trevor Lawrence in there, which I put him in there before, and you poo-poo me. But now you're saying that the reason why the Chiefs won is because they had a quarterback. Come on,
Patrick Mahomes was all-time great quarterback.
Nowadays, there's not gonna be no bum to average winning the Super Bowl, bro. That's not gonna happen.
Bro,
no more.
The greatest of all time lost twice to the bum or average quarterback. 3 times to a bum or average quarterback. Stop it.
Nick Foles and Eli Manning.
Patrick Mahomes is chasing the GOAT that was hold on. Because I'm let me spit. Patrick Mahomes is chasing the guy that is lost to average or game managing quarterbacks. That can happen again to Patrick Mahomes.
Y'all arguing about nothing that I'm saying. All I'm sitting here saying is that's not going to happen anymore because one, there's too many elite quarterbacks that you have to get through. Hey, I'm not the only one that feels this way.
There's mad elite quarterbacks in NFL history.
Listen, I don't care what no one else thinks or feels.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that history no more.
But you basically said that.
Can Kirk Cousins win the Super Bowl?
He's not. No. First off,
Jimmy G, can he win the Super Bowl?
I think Jimmy G could be on the Super Bowl
with the Raiders.
Yes,
with the Raiders.
He
can win the Super Bowl with the Raiders.
I don't think so. Like, come on. It's about your situation, which is what we talked about.
Bum ass quarterbacks. Let's stop acting like these bum ass quarterbacks. Or these mid quarterbacks. I don't want to call them bums, but these middle tier quarterbacks are just going to win a Super Bowl now because there's too many elite quarterbacks that you have to go through.
It's not just about the quarterback position. Football is not just about the quarterback position. If you have a tandem like the Eagles or the 49ers who are
the Eagles
great,
had
hold on. There's you got D-line, O-line, the trenches. That has nothing to do with the quarterback. It helps the quarterback. The trenches is where things are built, established, and continued. Look at the Eagles. The same trenches that was established when Nick Foles made it a mid-level quarterback at the time, maybe below, is the same trenches that help an elite quarterback get there. And they won with the lesser quarterback.
Why didn't they win?
Because they couldn't even get to the. They had the best defensive football and couldn't even get to Mahomes.
Tom Brady and lost to Patrick Mahomes.
They were the only team behind the one of the best defensive of all time as far as the Chicago Bears, and they didn't even touch Mahomes once.
That's Brady not my problem.
Brady had 505. Brady had 505, and they still won.
What they had to do. You can't poo-poo their O-line. They had one of the best O-line in the
Nobody's poo-pooing the O-line. All I'm sitting here saying is he went against an elite defense, and the reason why they won is because Mahomes showed that he's like that. I can't believe y'all got me out here praising Patrick Mahomes.
Bro,
no,
but the thing about it is
Mahomes is like that, but when you have a roster construction around him, when you have an O-line that good, I mean,
the O-line, their O-line was even that good this year. There's stats to even prove that the Chiefs O-line
great quarterbacks can't lose to mediocre quarterbacks.
I don't even think Creed Humphreys gave up a sack this whole year.
I understand you want to defend
Brady I don't think
bum ass quarterbacks. But all I'm sitting here saying, I don't care about none of these. I don't care about that, to be honest with you. All I'm sitting here, I've said what I wanted to say. We've been too much time on this nonsense here. Jimmy, who do you have as a winner?
I just told you there's multiple dudes on both ends of the spectrum that have won Super Bowls. Great guys and trash in your eyes. Trash. Can I answer the question?
It was no question.
Bro, all right. See, you say something that we can't respond. Like you're debating yourself, then, because every time it's time to respond to something, you want to talk.
But that's not even
I got a perspective.
Debating.
He got a perspective. You got a perspective. We can't spit it if you're always spitting your perspective.
But y'all bringing up something that I ain't even arguing. I don't care about that. I
No,
don't.
you,
The
you
thing
don't
I've
like the
said my
angle in which
piece
you don't like the angle in which we're debating it, and that's fine. But let us spit.
because that's not what I'm sitting here saying. I never sat here and said,
Next winner,
"Oh, in the
next winner.
past, such and such has won a championship." I don't give a fuck about what Joe Flacco did in the past.
Stop shitting on average quarterbacks because average quarterbacks have done more than any of your Bengals quarterbacks put
Let
together.
me see.
Anywho,
Let me see what an average
winners
quarterback
bet
does
for
in
the
this
Bears.
in this
Winners for the Bears.
future.
I believe the
Jesus,
Bears are a winner in free
let me
agency
see
because they
so much
believe in their
average.
quarterback Justin Fields. All around help around him. You talking about the defensive end to solidify the middle with T.J. Edwards, and you talking about Tremaine Edwards, the guy who will replace Roquan Smith in my mind as their sideline to sideline linebacker. You're talking about a Bears roster that has gotten a number one option in DJ Moore. The trade assisted in the free agency being what it was able to be and being more attractive destination for the guys like Nate Davis and for Dante Foreman as well. You talking about a line that is sort of had its troubles, and Nate Davis is injury prone coming from the Titans, but he also is great at run block. He's not the best in pass protection, but they believe in what they have in there, and I love to see it because Justin Fields. There's been a lot of questions around him, sort of like the Jalen Hurts of the last couple of years and the Dak Prescott's. But I believe this guy has intangibles of a winner, intangibles of a leader, not the likes of Jalen Hurts, but more better than Dak Prescott in my mind. So I believe going forward, and even with the PJ Walker pickup, I like that as a backup because he's a competitor. He competes, and with the Panthers roster, a roster that was expecting less, he did a solid job, I believe, in the mix of all that chaos and minimal weapons at the time. When you had Christian McCaffrey traded, we thought. But anyway, I believe this team is doing well to start off. They have a lot more cap space to work with, and I believe the future is bright for them, especially in this division. You talking about the Vikings? They're trying to build something out there. The Packers, some people love them, Jordan Love and such, and some people believe he'll be average, and I'm one of those people. So I believe the Bears can fight with the Lions for the top 2 seed in this division.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the Bears are definitely turning that roster around. They got like two middle linebackers that'll solidify. They're not better than Roquan, but as a tandem, they'll do some damage over there. Um, and DJ Moore was bringing another weapon is fantastic. I think they also brought in Dante Foreman, um, which is a nice little piece for them. Yeah, yeah, I could see this team turning it around and being competitive over there because I think the Vikings window is shutting very fast.
Um, I got the Bears as a winner also. Um, as if you get a number one receiver in DJ Moore to add with Darnell Mooney, and you get 2 first-round picks and 2 seconds, and then you go out here and fix some parts of your defense and Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, I think you're gonna be a winner. I'm not. Uh, I'm not too. The Bears, I think they're gonna be better than what they was last year. I'm not sure if they're gonna. I go back and forth on if they're gonna be an elite team after it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when Darius said that Dan Orlovsky said that Justin Fields is gonna be an MVP. I can't roll with that. I don't think the Bears are gonna be that elite. I think they're just gonna be a good team, probably win like 6, 7 games. But I think they're built for success. Except they still have like $44 million in cap space, so they can still go out here and make some moves, and they still can go out here and draft somebody with that number 9 overall pick. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. Another winner for me is I think the Denver Broncos. They got a dub so far in free agency. I mean, yeah, you overpaid for a couple of old linemen, but that's
So
what you
how is that?
needed. But you needed old linemen, so you go out and you get the best free agent guard and you get the best free agent right tackle. I mean, I don't see how that's a L. Maybe yeah, you had to spend a little bit to do that, but guess what Sean Payton did? In his past time when he first came to the Saints, Saints had one of the worst offensive line in football. He went out and brought in offensive line. So he realized that obviously this team needed that, and he's doing the same thing. I think the Samaje Perine signing was a solid piece. for some reason in Sean Payton's system, he does very well with a two-back system. One guy is more of a pass catcher, and Samaje Perine is a good veteran back that can pretty much he's not like the top tier back, but he can pretty much do it all. And running backs is pretty much plug and play nowadays. And he could catch, he could pass block, he's not going to fumble the football. So I think Samaje Perine for them is a solid piece. They do need another running back there. They take Zach Allen from the Cardinals, which was nice to beef up the D line there. And then they also re-signed Alex Singleton, who's had 100 plus tackles, over the last 3 seasons. So I like the moves for them because they went out and got pieces where they needed to hit. So they probably gonna have to trade one of their receivers in order to get some form of draft capital, but they still have cap space to go out and get players.
This is
go ahead. I know.
Yeah, this
I don't get how that's an L. So y'all think that's an L?
I don't think it's an L. I don't think it's a winner though, because they overpaid for a lot for positions that Mike McGlinchey, he's straight. He is not worth no $87 million. I get it. You want to say they want to protect Russell Wilson. They don't believe in Russell Wilson either because they went and got Jared Stidham. So it's like, bro, like
this man doesn't make any sense.
That's insurance. If Russell Wilson goes,
it's not insurance. It's just picking up a backup. It's just picking up a backup.
They was going to get a back, bro. No, it's not. I was just listening to NFL experts say, "Oh, this is a great move." Sean Payton, he went here and got Jared Stidham because if Russell Wilson does not perform, they're going to replace him with Jared Stidham. What do you mean? Russell Wilson ain't that guy.
Like, you lean on you can have the perspective
I lean
that
on experts that
right.
You can learn a lot from listening to other people, and if they know more, they're more tied into the situation. I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, that kind of makes more sense. Like Jared Stidham, he isn't like this amazing quarterback, but neither is Russell Wilson.
Wait, this man poo-pooed Taylor Heineke, but just said, oh, if Russell Wilson doesn't pan out, then Jared Stidham, he's that guy.
It's because of what he believes in Russell. Hold on.
What?
God, Lee. It's because of how he feels about Russell Wilson. That's why. It's because he got all those guys on the same tier, which is the disrespect behind the Super Bowl champion, who's made it there multiple times. But that's neither here nor there, bro. As far as the analysts,
we don't give credit for
dick riding, bro. I understand dudes get paid for this, but also it's an opinion based game. Also, and based off perspectives, and the perspective that Darius is given isn't some bullshit perspective. If you believe in the Super Bowl winning quarterback in Russell Wilson and Sean Payton's mind behind him, you acting like Russell Wilson is garbage. You acting like Russell Wilson is Matt Ryan.
Shit,
and he's not.
He close to it. Like, stop,
one bad
we not about to sit here and start doing the same arguments that we always have.
Let's get to the
y'all have y'all perspective on Russell Wilson. I have mine. I don't have the Denver Broncos as a winner. I think they just had the only real signing I like is a Zach Allen one. I think that's an underrated pickup. But the rest of these, I mean, Ben Powers, he's good. I give him that too. But the rest of these, Mike McGlinchey,
Perine comes back to the Bengals a few weeks ago. Just saying.
I didn't say anything about Perine. What are you saying?
Just saying.
Like,
but it's all good,
bro. Like,
what's the losses, man?
I'm always trying to make up a narrative that
I'm not making up a narrative. We got to run back the tape on down, man.
What did I say about Perine?
You said that you guys are most likely going to bring him back and cut Mixon.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything bad about him just now. Like, the thing about it is he chose to go there because the Bengals offered him the same amount of money. He chose to go there. That's all fine and dandy. I guess he wanted a bigger role. But I don't care about him going to the Denver Broncos. Like,
but acknowledge the solid signing. That's what Cuz is saying.
What is are you going to bring up Perine? If you sitting here talking about all the major signings that they had? No, it's going to be like the main guys. It's going to be the main guys.
He was solid for y'all.
Yes, I'm not saying he wasn't.
So
what you want me to
acknowledge the good and others?
What you want me to say just now?
Let's get to the losers,
you want me to say just now? You want me to say just now? Oh, they got Samaje Perine also. That's a good signing too. Yeah, he's a great blocker. Yeah, I give him
great
that. He's a blocker. He's a great veteran. I give him that. But he's not moving the needle or nothing.
All right. So losers. My first loser is going to be the total running back position. Because as we have seen, running backs are replaceable. I'm going to keep saying it. Unfortunately, I thought, listen, I like Zeke. I have no problem with Zeke. I would love to have Zeke on my podcast. Come on down to the No Game Just Business podcast, Zeke. We would love to have you. But but he unfortunately he ruined the running back market. It's a fact. Uh, because statistically he's declined every single season. And honestly, I don't think there's many running backs that's going to get $16 million anymore. That's not going to happen. Only running back that probably gets 16 mil is Nick Chubb. Other than that, these other guys, I mean, Zeke, cut. Eckler, the Chargers don't want to pay him, so he's looking for a new home. Supposedly, Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook is on, the trade block. So, I mean, Kareem Hunt still not signed. Devin Singletary still not signed. Damian Harris, who has rushed for damn near almost 1,000 yards at one point in his career. Last year, he battled injuries all year, but he was a solid. I think he's a solid back. And guess what? Don's boy, Miles Sanders, he had a career year in rushing yards. And David Montgomery, who teams think he's a solid running back. And Jamal Williams, who scored 17 rushing touchdowns last year. You want to know what their average salary is combined with the three? $6.5 million. The running back position, these guys aren't getting paid. So pretty much plug and play. You can go out and get a guy in the draft nowadays and have him on his rookie deal for 3 years and move forward. So I think the running back position is a loser.
I like that. What's up, Don?
Um, my loser, the Baltimore Ravens. Literally have not done nothing. Then they got the Lamar Jackson stuff. The only stuff they've done is sign a long snapper and then Justice Hill, and then they cut Calais Campbell, and they still have not got a legit weapon on the outside. So the Baltimore Ravens are a loser for me.
I think we gotta worry about paying a guy $200+ million. I don't think there's much you can do because you got to figure out where your cap is going to be after you pay him. So, hey, I'm good with Desmond Ritter. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Man, oh man. New England Patriots, please stand up. Please stand up because I'm very pissed off Bill Belichick specifically. I need your coaching abilities and your GM abilities to be on the same level. And I know that's asking a lot for a GM to reach the level of your greatness at the coaching position. But I feel like you're being exposed. You've been exposed for a while, or you've been covered up with Brady or greatness around you. There's not that much greatness in the building right now. And we're looking to you to do something, and this is what you've done. You're talking about James Robinson to go with the 1-2 punch of Stevenson. You're talking about Mike Gesicki. Mike Gesicki. I had him as a fantasy owner last year. I wouldn't advise it. From there you go Juju Smith-Schuster, Mr. TikTok, Mr. Juju on that beat. I just don't believe that the Patriot way can align Juju in the ways that he needs to be aligned. I think a championship needs to be on his mind. And in New England right now, championships are not on our mind. We're talking about Mac Jones and allowing him to just take another step. I think it was a nice signing with Bill O'Brien. I think that's nice. I think it's better than last year. I think it's a growth. I'm trying to be positive here, optimistic. But with these weapons here and the lack of intrigue there is in New England, I just don't believe we'll be able to make a big splash. And I don't think we want to make a big splash. I think Bill Belichick is very stubborn. And I believe this draft, we're going to see him do the same thing again. And he's going to go to the trenches. The trenches is beautiful to build if you have the skill players to allow the trenches to work for you. But we need the skill players. We have enough coaching to where our trenches I can trust. We can develop talent. But it's hard to develop playmakers on the perimeter. And I believe we need to have the right mind, select the correct skill player, and plug and play. I like we had a third string corner, nickel corner slash receiver slash special teams guy. I believe Marcus Jones. Beautiful pickup last year. Beautiful pickup. And I love how they were using them on both sides of the ball. And I think it can definitely work on that end, on the back end, but on that offense, when it comes to selecting talent, Bill Belichick, I need you to rise. Losers, Patriots. I can't believe I'm saying it. But yeah, losers.
Cuz, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I don't see Juju fitting with that team. For the same money, they could have just kept Jacoby Myers. And I think Jacoby Myers is slightly at this point in his career better than Juju. Um, and with the TikToking and all that, when it's the Patriot way, you're pretty much a robot, right?
Yeah,
We saw
yeah,
Chad Johnson go there. I mean, obviously he was a lot older, but he said he didn't feel like himself, right?
mm,
So I didn't see why I don't know what they sold him there in New England for Juju to want to go play there, or maybe just the Chiefs didn't want him. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, Mike Gesicki, I guess he's just gonna be good for your run blocking because, I mean, you give up Johnu Smith who you didn't use and you overpaid, and just to bring in Mike Gesicki doesn't make any sense. And then who was the third guy?
You talking about Robinson?
Oh, yeah, the guy that got
Robinson.
traded to the Jets and didn't even play. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, go ahead, Dom.
I think I honestly I ain't think nothing bad about it, to be honest with you. I mean, y'all got Mike Gesicki, and the Bengals was trying to get him. He isn't a great blocker, but I mean, bro's really athletic. He's a great receiving tight end. I mean, it was what since what his name Mike McDaniel's came there. His stats have went down because of the system that he runs, but he's still shoot, he's still like at least a top 10 tight end. I would say, but
Nah, I don't know about
no, I'm
that.
saying as far as when he's I really believe it was the system of Mike McDaniel's. Like Mike McDaniel's system really like put the wide receiver and the running back over somebody like him, and for great reason. You got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out there. But I'm saying, like, before he came there, Mike Gesicki was balling at the tight end position. And I feel like that might have been a loss because he decided to go there instead of coming to like Cincinnati, where it's been shown tight ends over the last 2 years. You come to Cincinnati, you will get paid the following year. But I don't know I don't know what would happen if he goes to New England. I think they might be good though.
Who you
What?
guys are
What was
losing?
the last part?
I think
They
I
might.
I think y'all might be like I'm not buying into all this narrative of like the Dolphins and the Jets are just gonna run away with this division. I think y'all still have a fighter's chance. Like you said, I like Bill O'Brien coming back. Juju, I'm not the biggest fan of, but hey, it's Juju. Then y'all got two tight ends. What the other one name is Hunter Henry or something like that.
Yeah,
Like, and
two
then
big
y'all
targets
have
for
like
Mac
some y'all have well, which running back y'all still got? Ramondre Stevenson or the other one?
Stevenson.
Or
Yeah, the
Damian
one who
Harris?
gave away the game last year. Yeah, him.
So
Stevenson.
I'm just like, yeah, it's not like y'all. I would love to shit on y'all, but it's not like y'all like so a terrible team. Like honestly, I got more confidence in y'all than I got in the Falcons.
Well, duh. I'm sorry to say it, because I mean, shit.
I'm sorry. I disagree with both of y'all.
What?
I think the Patriots will be the worst team in that division. I think
You think
the
you think the Jets are going to be good?
I think the
By a
Jets
lot?
with I think the Jets with Rodgers will be a playoff team. I'm not saying that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, but that'll elevate them to a playoff roster. The Bills, I think, is still going to win the division, and I think the Dolphins is the one that we have to see what it looks like because it's like F them picks and they're going all in. So who knows? There may be three teams that come out of that division this year, and I don't see the Patriots being one of them. So the Patriots will be the worst team in that division. Yes,
No, I'm not
100%.
saying that they can make the playoffs, but I'm not saying that they're going to be this sorry team like how
So you
everybody
think
is
they're going to win
already
seven
anointing it.
games?
It's
I can
possible.
see that.
Hey,
Okay,
it's possible.
let me just put this in perspective right here. If the Patriots win 7 games, you think the Dolphins or the Jets is going to be the worst team in that division?
It
No.
doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be the worst team. I mean, I'm sure. Like I think last year, the Patriots, but the Jets won 7 games. They was the worst. They was the worst team in the division. You can win 7 games and still be the worst. I just don't think that the Patriots are that like below the Jets and the Dolphins. Like I get it. They
They'll
got some high
compete.
end names. They got some high end names over there, but I need to see it come together. We just seen the same situation when Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. They needed only thing they needed was a quarterback, and they was banking on Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers just coming off a bad season last year, and I'm gonna get to him in the next topic. But I'm not too sold on he's coming back for the right reasons because he still think he got it. But I'm not sold on them. And then the Dolphins, we don't know where if Tua actually gonna be in the game half of the time. So it's like I can bank on. I'm not the biggest Mac Jones fans, but he's there most of the time. And now you got Bill O'Brien coming back and Jimmy's GOAT coach. You got Belichick running the defense. I'm not as low on the Patriots as everybody else. I'm not high, but I'm not low either. I'm in the middle.
See, and as a New England fan, we don't sniff that middle. We stay up top. So as a fan, I have to keep the pressure on
See,
them
here
by
you
telling
go.
them,
Here
y'all
you
are
go.
what? I'm just saying with my chest. And then on the Cowboys
Hey,
fans, see,
you
this
give
is the
them an
reason why the
inch, they
Cowboys
take a
fans are so
mile.
trash. It's because they enable trash coaching or trash play or trash CEO or trash GM moves. What I'm doing is shitting on Bill Belichick, the GM, because the coach and the GM is just not on the same level. And in order for this roster, New England, you're trying to, trying to lure me in talking about what we got going on, who we playing. But New England, yes, we'll compete, and that's our biggest issue. We need a splash, and sometimes because we don't have that GM mind to draft, that elite talent doesn't just fall in your lap. You have to go search for it because we're always in the middle of the pack. We need that top 10 pick, top 5 pick to get that elite playmaker on the perimeter. We just don't have it because we
Well,
compete too
I could
much.
tell you from the signings that yeah did sign that's probably Bill O'Brien picking up those players. That
Okay.
can't be Bill Belichick uh, putting his mind, his GM cap on, and going out and getting those players. But hey, I mean, I'm different on a lot of the other teams than y'all. But whatever. What else you got, Don? Who's a loser?
I do say the Patriots will be
Uh,
last, by the way.
my last loser, because hold on. Oh yeah, I said the Ravens already. My last loser, I had the Los Angeles Rams. They had to trade Jalen Ramsey for for a third round pick and Hunter Long, the tight end that nobody knows. And then they really haven't done nothing in free agency. They don't have much cap space. It's turning out F them picks. Ain't really a smart idea now, is it?
Yep, that's
I guess
exactly what it looks
we'll,
like.
yeah, we'll see in a couple segments there, huh?
Yeah, I
I'm
guess we
getting
will.
see. Why you
um,
saying something like that? That just tell me you on some nonsense this morning.
Nah, come on. Do you know where I come from? You don't do that. You don't
Oh
do that.
man,
Uh,
I'm gonna be mad what I gotta say when we get to that topic. But anyway, Commanders is a loss for me. Yeah, you signed Deron Payne, you keep your D line. I mean, me and Don talked about this. They got a really good trio of receivers. I think they have a okay two back system with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. But come on, you bring in Jacoby Brissett to be the quarterback. You had guys like Derek Carr out there. You got Jimmy G out there. You don't even want to bring in Lamar Jackson, who everyone wants, quote unquote. Um, and you bring in Jacoby Brissett, who is
I
an
bet you
18
wouldn't have
and
had an issue if they bought in Baker Mayfield.
hey, you know what? It's funny you say that because Baker's 31 and 30 in his career starts, and he's throwing for over 100 touchdowns and less interceptions than Jacoby Brissett. Wow. Jacoby Brissett is 18 and 30. The Browns. Oh man, he was supposed to keep us in. He was supposed to keep the Browns, roster intact before Deshaun Watson came back. They went 4-7. The Colts believed in Jacoby Brissett. They brought him in to be the starter before they started going down the path of going to get Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, and Matt Ryan. Shout out you, Matt Ryan. Hope you have a long life, successful, whatever you do after football, right? 4-11 with the Colts that year. Oh, he had one really good season with the Colts. I forgot. I don't even think they made the playoffs. 7-8. Good job. Good job, Washington. Good job trying to take over this division with Jacoby Brissett. Good luck. Oh yeah, Ron Rivera, he got to go.
Uh, yeah, yeah. Never
That's
mind.
tough.
I'll let Jimmy go. I just
No, that's facts. That's facts. No, you got it. You got it done. You got it done.
It's just the fact of you poo poo and Jacoby Brissett, but he had a better season than Baker last year.
He
But
had a
we ain't
better
gonna
season
get
than
back
Baker
on that.
last year. I'm talking about career. Career
Baker was on
wise,
a better
Baker has had a
team.
better career.
Baker was on a better
I
team.
don't want to hear he's on a better team because you just poo pooed that team.
Yes, that's what I'm sitting. But the team was still. Did I not sit here and say that the team still had players on it?
We always talked about the Colts being a quarterback away. Jacoby could have been that quarterback. He wasn't. The Commanders are a quarterback
So
away.
could Baker.
Why?
So
Why
could
would
Baker.
Jacoby be that
Why
guy?
he went to the Colts also. I'm not saying he's gonna be their guy. I'm 50-50 with Darius. So yeah, they should have went and kicked the can on Lamar. But all I'm sitting here saying is, I mean, Jacoby. I don't think he's like no world beater or anything.
But he's
But
better
I'm
than
not gonna call
Baker.
him. Yes, it doesn't take much to be better than Baker.
It's all good, man. I'm not gonna get into the big. I think a lot of players are better than Jacoby. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. I just think Washington should have just went out and got a better quarterback. That really, whether
But
even if it was Baker or if it was Jacoby or if it was Taylor Heineke, I'm like, what are you doing? You have a very solid roster. Just go out and get a quarterback that the Saints went out and paid Derek Carr, or just go get Jimmy G. Like there's some other players out there that are better than these guys.
I
That's all
agree.
I'm saying.
Let me ask you this: who gonna have a better record, the Commanders or the Bucks?
Oof. Ooh,
That's tough
man.
because the
I'm gonna
division.
still say the Commanders.
Oh, okay.
I think the
That's all I
Commanders.
wanted to know.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Y'all ready? Y'all ready to run it down with Rodgers?
let's do it. Let's do it. So we're gonna get into Aaron bleeping Rodgers. This is a two-part question here. So Rodgers said he wants to play for the Jets. What's your overall take? And then the second part to this question is who has the more leverage, the Packers or the Jets? Jimmy, you want to start this?
I will because they're trying to hit home over here with them Jets, New York Jets, whatever. And for me, I like to keep it 100, and I'm a little nervous with Rodgers coming over there during the regular season. Okay, we usually split with the Jets or just outright beat the Jets 2 times like we did last year, and this time around it'll be a lot more difficult when you talk about Rodgers with the weapons in the regular season. I truly believe, because this guy's an MVP candidate year in and year out. I believe I don't like his narrative controlling behind. I don't like his lack of leadership. But this guy is not falling off a cliff. He's gradually regressing. And we can deal with gradually regressing when you're coming from all time great heights when it comes to ability. And I believe if you combine this defense of the Jets with the weapons in Rodgers' mind and experience and motivation, I believe this Jets team can do big things. I believe they will end up being second in the division because the Dolphins will suffer from injuries. I believe those speedsters over there are low key injury prone with the groins and the hamstrings, nagging injuries, about 2 games here, 3 games there. I believe that might happen, and the Dolphins might, fall a little bit lower than what they were last year as far as record. So that'll allow the Jets to sneak to number 2, and Patriots will be number 4. Bills still number 1 in my mind. But as far as who has leverage, I really believe I wish we could plug Rodgers in there because he has the most leverage. He just snatches it in the media with the way he speaks upon the Packers, upon himself, and the players he's played with or played with before. But if we go on Packers Jets, I believe that the Jets really have the leverage here. Yes, the Packers have him. Yes, the Packers can wait, but the Jets know that Rodgers want to go there, and the Packers want something from Rodgers. If not, I think he might just retire and say, forget it. He was 90% retirement, 10% playing when he came out of his little sabbatical or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Now, Rodgers here, as far as the narrative controlling angle, persuasive type of guy he is, I don't think it'll work in New York. So if he does go to New York, I don't know if it'll be that of what it was with Green Bay because of the media personality that he is in combination of the place that you are and that's New York. And New York is different when it comes to what you allow the narrative to be because they will dissect or change and influence the narrative, ask questions that Rodgers may not be willing to answer in the best way for the team's sake. And at the quarterback position with a young roster, it is essential that your leader is propelling a forward progressing path for this franchise. And I don't believe the Jets are that established to where they'll be able to handle Aaron Rodgers' mind. So with that being said, the Jets will make it to the playoffs, but they won't make it far. I'm nervous, but not that nervous.
What you got, Don?
Um, you know, me and you talking about this the other day. I feel like this, like I keep saying, this gonna be a Russell Wilson situation. All these Jets fans, all high and mighty. I seen some sit here and say, "Oh, we get Aaron Rodgers. There's an argument to be made. We have the second best quarterback in the AFC." Shut the fuck up, please. Shut the fuck up, bro. Not even top five. Like, stop it. Like, I'm not here for past accolades. Aaron Rodgers has not shown me nothing in the last season for me to give him that type of praise and sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be better than Josh Allen. He's gonna be better than Joe Burrow." Yeah, I even give y'all man Trevor Lawrence props. Like, come on now, let's stop with this nonsense up out here. Um, as far as the Rodgers stuff, I said this. I feel like it's a mistake. You're trying to give this man all this leverage and control. I don't even say he has the leverage. Just giving him everything that he wants, getting all his little mid tier and washed up friends to come play with him. It's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing? Like, Alan Lazard, okay, that's okay. That's still a stretch, but that's okay. But as far as Randall Cobb, really, I guarantee you, if I look up Randall Cobb stats, we gonna laugh. And then the old ass tight end. It's like, bro, stop. Like, they already have two tight ends. They already have Conklin and Uzama. Why are you trying to bring in an old ass tight end? Like, it just doesn't make sense. The Jets are trying to bend over backwards for this man, and that's, hey, if I get it, y'all have not had a good quarterback in a long time. Mark Sanchez was straight some of those years, but y'all haven't had like a upper tier quarterback that everybody looks at and be like, oh, they could win the Super Bowl. I'm not there with y'all on if they could win the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying that they're gonna make the playoffs, to be honest with you. But as far as who has the leverage, it's the Packers. It's the Packers. They don't have to trade. There's no rush for them to trade Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they could wait literally until after June 1st and then cut that little cap hit in half. If before June 1st, it'd be 40 million, but after they could do 15 million in 2023, and then the rest of it in 2024. So it's like the Jets are the only one that really needs this thing to be in a rush. Also, I know the Jets fans are going to become impatient sooner or later, and they're going to start like, when are we going to get Rodgers? When are we going to get Rodgers? I think the front office caves in New York, and they end up just saying, all right, we'll give you that first round pick, because I think that's really what's holding it up. They don't want to give up that first round pick, which is fine and dandy, but hey, y'all trying to get Aaron Rodgers, give that first round pickup and just go ahead and get it over with, because either way, y'all ain't gonna be good. And on top of that, y'all old line is really trash. I hear nobody speak on that when they talk about the Jets, but they just always, oh, they're gonna be a Super Bowl contender with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers couldn't do nothing last year with I don't know what you call the Packers old line, decent. He couldn't do nothing with that. But yet now we think that he's going to do something with a bad O line, and then you're going to have to probably give up Corey Davis. So in the trade, so you're going to bring in Lazard. I'd rather have Corey Davis, to be honest with you. But hey, maybe they might call me a hater because I'm just not that high on him.
Yeah, I'm like I'm 50-50 on Don's take. Like, I don't see it as far as the Russell Wilson, as far as it being as bad as the Russell Wilson trade was. Um, but I will say that Rodgers doesn't make this team a Super Bowl contender. I think he makes this team a playoff roster, which they just missed the playoffs by a few games last year. Um, Rodgers in the playoffs is 11-10, and he hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 10 years. Doesn't make any sense. You're coming off your career lows in QBR and passing percentage. I mean, the Jets also don't have the run game that the Packers have as well to lean on. Yes, they have better weapons on the outside, but like Don said, you're gonna have to give up Corey Davis. And I actually saw a meme. It was like, who's winning free agency? And it was like Aaron Rodgers' friends. and it had all the receivers that he wanted to be
Yeah.
in with the Jets and that old ass tight end. So that was funny to me. But yeah, I don't get it. Like you have Garrett Wilson there, you got Eli Moore. I really think it's just like a comfort. It's like a comfort level for him. He's just like, oh, if I bring my friend Aaron, Cobb, Randall Cobb, I can count on him. Or Alan Lazard, who I think, only can excel with Rodgers, which is okay. And that's a comfort level for him. So that may be the reason why he wants those guys there. But as far as who has the leverage, the Packers all day have the leverage. I mean, like Don said, they don't have to trade him. They're like, you can go to the Jets and they'll give us our first round draft pick, or you can retire. Do whatever you want to do, Rodgers. But either way, you're not playing here. We moving forward with Jordan Love. No matter which way you see it, we're going with Jordan Love. And I said it a couple of weeks ago. I said the Jets is gonna fuck up. They're gonna miss out on Derek Carr, who I think would have been a better suit for them, and Jimmy G by waiting on a 40-year-old quarterback. We're not talking about a 35-year-old quarterback here. We're not talking about a 32-year-old quarterback here, or a guy that's in the middle of his prime, around 27, right? We talk about a 40-year-old guy. You're not Brady. You're not Brady. You don't be in the, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Rodgers is in there being a real heavy study guy and analyzing the game and just loves to compete, but it doesn't seem that way, right? So, I mean, I predict that this team is going to go to the playoffs, but I see it as like a first round, maybe second round exit. I do see him being statistically better because he has better weapons. So I could see him being around like that 30. So he threw for 26 touchdowns last year. I could see that bumping up to, 32. And he doesn't really turn the football over that much. So from 12, I think he could drop that down to maybe like 8 to 10, maybe. I don't see him going double digits again, but I just don't see it like working out long term, and they're just going to be in quarterback hell for like the next 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
I,
Oh, go
uh,
ahead. Go
I,
ahead, bro.
I, I believe that they are in limbo when it comes to F them picks or building from the ground up, because they have built from the ground up beautifully especially last year. Now, with Rogers, greatness sometimes attracts. It's not the best when it comes to greatness, because it can fool you. It can have a mask on or whatever. But I believe we should allow the pro and con that comes with Aaron Rodgers, which is his mouth and his narrative control behind, on Pat McAfee show. When it comes to those weapons, Randall Cobb, Odell, Lewis, Alazar, I believe that first off, we shouldn't assume that the report is true. I don't want to. The media is not always correct. There can be some false news there. I
Oh yeah.
believe he's very transparent in how things go behind the scenes. I believe sometimes we don't necessarily like his personality, but he's very telling of what he wants. And I believe the conversation more so went like this: these guys are not on the Packers. These guys are free agents. Who would you like for us to sign? As a quarterback of any franchise, you go to your as a leader of any franchise, you go to your quarterback to help make decisions, no matter how good or great he is. If you believe in him, you go to him to help him create the path, and as far as comfort for him back there and in a new environment, bring pieces that he's privy to. Now, Randall Cobb, we're going to shit on Randall Cobb because of his age, but Randall Cobb, after the play breaks down, is a beautiful route runner religiously. He's older in his career, obviously, yes, but I believe he's a postseason guy. I believe in the postseason he'll be more of a factor. After the play breaks down, we've seen Randall Cobb make hella plays in the middle of the field. He's a great second route runner in the midst of a play. So I think that really can help, as along with Allen Lazard and his big body. I believe he's a great red zone threat, something the Jets really don't have right now. So I believe those weapons actually make sense. And Lewis, that's the only one that just don't make sense. And if who don't want Odell as the third or fourth or fifth option? I mean, I think it'd be beautiful.
I also the one thing that I also heard, I agreed with your first pick. Oh, he was 90%. He said he was 90% ready to go and play. I just think he coming back for the wrong reasons. I don't have much faith in it, And hey, time will tell. But I think that's gonna be a rough situation.
All right. All right. So let's get into F them picks
Mm-hmm.
or team builder. All right. I will start this off. I'm not a really big F them picks, guys. And that is the reason why I don't want to go out and get Lamar Jackson if I'm with the Falcons organization, right? I'm just looking at some roster. I'm just looking at the last 20 years of teams that won Super Bowls, and really only one team won with F them picks, and that's the Rams. And you see what happened the following year: injuries, age, you know, guys digressing. I mean, I'm just looking at the Patriots. Like they draft, a player like Brady hitting the gold mine with on with players like Gronk, Devin McCourty, Nate Soldier, Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower, Jamie Collins, Logan Ryan. These guys been to 7 Super Bowls. 7. I'm just talking about that core of players. Been to 7 Super Bowls. Then finding diamonds like undrafted free agents like Julian Edelman, who was a quarterback in college. Come on now, that first round draft picks: Richard Seymour, Vince Wilfork, Logan Mankins. These guys combined for 22 Pro Bowls. The Chiefs drafting Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, Tyreek Hill. And then with those pieces, right, you have stars, you draft stars, and then you bring in pieces like a Tyrann Mathieu, a Frank Clark, right? I know Don isn't the biggest fan of Frank Clark, but Frank Clark in the postseason is third all time in sacks. So we got to give him credit there, right? Juju. Juju was a solid player for the Chiefs last year, and he played a big role in the Super Bowl. He played it. He converted 3 third downs in the Super Bowl to first downs. So, hey, Juju played very well for them. And without Tyreek Hill, then you drafting players like Creed Humphreys. You bring in a Pro Bowler like Orlando Brown Jr. I'm just looking at the Seahawks, the Legion of Boom when they drafted all those guys. You bring in a guy like Russ, not even in the first round. I think Russ was like a third round draft pick. You brought in beast mode from the Bills. The Bucks, they already had a solid foundation. It's just that Jameis Winston wasn't that guy. You already had Evans and Godwin, who were like one of the best duos in football. You bring in Brady, he's bringing in Gronk with him because Gronk wants to play with him. You had a solid foundation. You had Levante Davis on the defensive end. Then you had a young secondary. All of those guys are getting paid. Jamal Dean, Carlton Davis got paid already. Jamal Dean just got paid. That dude Sean Butler something.
Sean
He's
Murphy
still a,
Bunting.
yeah, he's still a free agent, but he'll get paid. Antoine Winfield, you don't think he's gonna get paid when it's his time? He
Mm-hmm.
will. You drafted players like Vita Vea, Tristan Wirfs, who's one of the best tackles in football, who was hurt last year, right? Big reason why the O line was trash. Devin White, right? Even though he digressed slightly, I still think he can. I still think he can play.
Wow.
F them picks in the short term may work, but it's really about team building. You don't want to run into a cap situation or players aging or injuries, and that's what happened with the Rams. Now their window is closing. You got Aaron Donald iffy on if he's really going to play or not. There was rumors that he might also get traded. I highly doubt they trade Aaron Donald. Matthew Stafford, we don't know. I think he had a was it a back or neck injury? I think it was a back injury last year. Like
Yeah.
we don't know what is going on. Odell's not going back there. So, I mean, in the last 20 years, pretty much teams have built their rosters and brought in pieces to then elevate them to be consistently good. The Seahawks went to 2 Super Bowls. Pats went to 7 Super Bowls. Chiefs has been to 4 Super Bowls. What other roster has been to multiple Super Bowls? I said the Seahawks.
You did. You mentioned
Yeah,
it
the
earlier.
Seahawks been to 2 Super Bowls. I mean, the Eagles been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. The Bucks, 20 years, 2 Super Bowls. The Ravens. So these are the 49ers been to 2 Super Bowls. So These are teams that are consistently building their rosters, and that's why they're continuously competitive every single year.
Good, Don.
No, well, there's some of you said some stuff, but then other stuff I just like, that ain't completely. Like they traded for some of those. The Chiefs traded for some of those players, like Orlando Brown. They traded for him,
Yeah, they
so it
traded for him.
is
I said
kind
they
of like
brought in
so.
pieces.
That's what I'm saying. So it is kind of like F them picks if they trade him for a player, but like as far Juju and Frank Clark maybe was traded or he was a free agent signing, but I'm more so I'm more so just lean on building from the ground up. That's how you get most dynasties. That's how it works. Like we've seen on countless occasions, NBA or NFL, KD and them. Look at the KD and the Brooklyn Nets. Look at them. Miami, yeah, you can say we won two, but we really shouldn't have won two. Who else we got? It's multiple big three or multiple super teams that we've seen. KG and them only won once, and I get it; they was older, but it's multiple teams. Like I feel
And they
like
gave up a lot of
these
draft capital.
exact prime example. Look at Brooklyn now; they traded all
Yeah.
that for James Harden, and now look, ain't none of them there. So I just feel like you I feel like when you I say it's F them picks when you're and I'm not even saying heavily F them picks. It's like be cautious with the picks that you divvy out. Don't be like the Rams. Oh, well, bump it. No, Von Miller was a free agent signing. Matthew Stafford, here you go. And I get it, you would have won it without him. But still, like y'all with Jalen Ramsey, here you go. Now look at it. I guess you could try to say it's worth it. Oh, we got a Super Bowl out of it. But at the same time, what does your next 10 years look like? Because I'm not too sold on Matthew Stafford. Jalen Ramsey is going. Aaron Donald is playing tic tac toe with retirement, just like Aaron Rodgers. Every other year, it seems like they want to retire, and then your coach doesn't even seem like he wants to be part of a rebuild. So it's like you're doing all this for what, and there's no guarantee that you're going to win. That's why I'm not high on the Dolphins because it's like y'all doing the same blueprint as them, and I just don't believe in y'all. Like y'all need to worry about Tua's health before you worry about. Oh, let me go get Jalen Ramsey to pair it with Xavier Howard. Like I just feel like that's the wrong way to try to build a team, and I feel like it's going to come back to bite them in their behind.
Yo, Ramsey said that they're the best corner duo in the league.
I heard that. Just because somebody say something, that doesn't make it true, now does it?
Hey, I believe in my boy
Hey,
Calvin
hey,
Ridley. He
let me
said he's
let
gonna
me
go
ask you.
1,400.
Oh my
I
Jesus!
believe it.
Oh my Jesus! Let me ask you this: who yo, we already had that conversation. Let me ask you this: y'all take who y'all taking them or the Cowboys?
Who?
Second,
Oh,
the cornerbacks,
you talk about
I'll take
the
it.
where you
Gilmore
talk
and Diggs.
Gil,
I'll take it.
Gilmore and Diggs or Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard.
Parsons in front of him. I'm taking Diggs and Gilmore.
Ah,
I'm just going strictly off
sheesh.
of cornerbacks.
As corners, lockdown, I'm going with Jalen Ramsey and Xavier
Bro, stop
Howard.
it. Yo, also,
Both of
also,
them could
also,
play man to man. Diggs don't play man to
yeah,
man.
True.
both of them get burned up. Also, but
Diggs get
also,
burnt up. He just catches.
he's
He's
got
a
better last
gambler.
year. He got better last year. I give him that. My one other thing, I I'm trying to figure out where you fall on this, Dish, because you said you're not with F them picks, but then you got the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl in 3 years. So
Jalen Ramsey effect, or should I say
But
yeah,
Dion?
Jalen, the prime
but
effect.
hey, listen, I'm not with F them picks, but I did say wherever Jalen Ramsey go, will win the Super Bowl in at least 3 years, 1 to 3 years. So yes, whether it's with Tua or without Tua or hmm, Brady come back, they've been talking about him going to the Dolphins. Who knows?
Please
I don't
stand
know,
up.
man. I
Please
don't know,
stand up.
man. He been talking about it. Hey, you never know. So yes, I'm still gonna go with that. I'm not saying it's the best way to go, but it could work. It has worked with the Rams. Let's see if it'll work with the Dolphins. Who knows? I don't know. But their front seven's really good. They got a pass rush. They have a run stopping defense. Xavier Howard actually wasn't as bad as what people think. He was the only corner on the roster, and I think he still had a good amount of interceptions and pass breakups. I mean, Jalen Ramsey was still the second highest rated corner in the league. Javon Holland is a really good player. The offense with Tua, we talked about Tua being a top 10 quarterback, playing like a top 10, playing like a top 10 quarterback. His trajectory was was high. He was a Super Bowl candidate. I mean, he was an MVP candidate. Sorry. And Tyreek Hill was on pace to go for 2,000 yards at one point. So, but like Jimmy said, like those soft tissue injuries, the hamstrings, and we don't know how this roster is going to be health wise, and that is the issue. Offensively, defensively, I think they're fine. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be better.
I love this debate right here because there's multiple ways to skin a cat here. And when we're talking about NFL, I believe it is those picks that you should hold on to and hope and pray that your GM has the mind to be able to make do with those draft picks. When you go from the ground up, it allows for the next man up mentality to be in place because you always have a plug and play mentality. You're not banking on talent. Talent can only take you but so far. So I believe in, especially with football, it's bad to go with the F them picks mentality because especially with football, you're talking about putting your body on the line and that pick, you may not just be able to bank on that pick for the next 10 years. You never know when it comes to the lifespan of a football player. But when it comes to basketball, I believe F them picks in this era is a necessity in order to compete because stars are joining together and those picks, and unless you have a attractive destination, those picks will allow you to get a star and make do with something. And it's very different as opposed to, let's say, 15 to 20 years ago in the NBA, where the mentality of a star wasn't to just jump ship and join with another great player or great talent. It's more so it was the GM's game or the coach's mind that would allow for the roster to be what it was going to be. But football is trending slowly, very, very slowly in that direction. And as things go forward and player empowerment is more of a thing in football, I believe these contracts will allow, or the cap space and how everything works will allow for stars to play with each other more so without the roster being so handicapped financially. In the NBA, they worked it out. I would say within the last 15 to 20 years when it comes to allowing stars to not only be drafted to the same team, but going and taking veteran minimums, even lowering their value and taking pay cuts. I believe certain stars, if you reach a certain pinnacle when it comes to accomplishments or accolades, I feel like you shouldn't be able to take minimum so much to go join with elite talent. I feel like you should have a minimum and a cap and a max as far as what you're able to have as far as your value, because you are valuable and it's been seen through your accolades and such in your numbers. They shouldn't allow these stars, in my mind, to join together because it sort of waters down the league. The NFL and the NBA are two very different things, and I believe it takes two different mentalities to reach the pinnacle over and over and over again.
Jimmy, I was with you until you said that basically the league enforced how much you can get paid and what you can't get paid. That sounds crazy.
A superstar shouldn't be like, yeah, I'm gonna just take the veteran minimum. I'm good. I just want to play with this nigga. Like, nah,
But what
your
but
value
what
is here.
superstar is doing that? Most
Yeah,
of the
not the
time when
veteran
somebody
minimum.
taking a veteran
Not the
minimum,
veteran, not the
they're
veteran.
not. I was gonna say they're not a superstar anymore. They're still good, probably. Like
Think about DeMarcus
Russell
Cousins.
Westbrook, who
DeMarcus Cousins out off of that injury. Let's like, obviously it was Achilles
you
injury, so
talking
we
about
didn't
when he
expect
went to the
much.
Warriors?
Yes, like that roster shouldn't be able to just keep adding Miami. They shouldn't just be able to keep adding these guys. I'm like, yo, like, what's up with
Yeah,
the
but how
just
besides the
many
big,
times
chasing
does it
besides their
actually
big
pay
three, I
off? How
mean,
many times does it pay off though?
yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah,
Boston? I mean, you said they made it one time, but then they got what, Eddie House, Rasheed Wallace. Like these are guys that are obviously on the back end of their career, but at the same time they hold immense value. So to add them with stars, it's just like overload all star team here. That's
mm,
what's up.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm not really. I believe that building from the ground up is the best way because even look at the Celtics right now. Them boys look dominant, and mostly all those players that they got there, the key ones they drafted. So besides like Brogdon and White, but I just feel like that's the best way to actually build something because you never know how this is going to go down. Like, it, shoot, even shoot, even I know you probably gonna disagree, but even look at Brady. Like they only won one mixing all these talented
No,
players
I
together.
agree.
Like because
In
they
the
wasn't
NFL.
yeah, like I just feel like you have to have some type of uh like core, a legit core to actually win out here. And yes, there's some outliers that have won, but I don't think you're gonna win consistently if this core wasn't built together and then you just add and piece to it instead of you just trying to put all these pieces together and hopefully it sticks.
For me, it's the NBA. So what I'm gonna say is, what about those Lakers?
Which one? Which one?
They traded for Kareem. They traded for Shaq. No, my fault. Traded for Kobe. Like they traded for AD. Like with almost every championship associated with the Lakers, Will Chamberlain. I believe we traded for Will. If I'm not mistaken, like most of these championships is based off of trade, saying F them picks in the NBA for the Lakers.
Y'all might be an outlier. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, because you make a good point. Most of the time when y'all do trade for a superstar, y'all do end up winning. And the only one that is Anthony Davis one.
the bubble
But
championship.
yeah, is Anthony Davis one. But you
Hey,
got a good point
Davis
with
was
the
on
rest.
the all 75
Yeah,
team.
that's ridiculous. That's
Exactly.
disrespectful.
Hey,
That's very
that's why.
disrespectful.
Hey, that's when me and old boy was going back and forth in the comments the other day about the Carmelo. I was like, bro, Carmelo on the All
Oh,
75 team. T Mac not even on that. Like that's why I say he
it's all
overrated. But
because
we're
his
not gonna get
career.
back into that.
I am taking team up, but career. Come on, Melo's clearly his career is clearly he was able to show more.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, I know I'm not going to get into the Melo situation because I mean, you hit it right on the money. It's about career, and I mean, he's led from since he came into the league at what 19 years old. I mean, he was consistently in the playoffs. You talk about a bad roster. His second his number two man was Andre Miller. He was leading that team to the playoffs.
Bro, you back on Carmelo?
Yeah, I mean,
you took it there.
yeah.
No, I thought he said when he said yeah, he was moving on. Like I ain't entertaining Diamond Day.
I'm
But
not entertaining. I'm not entertaining it.
it just surprised me when I heard him when I heard Andre Miller. I was like, hold on, this man talking about Carmelo?
He should, you know what? Never mind,
Melo
because he should.
has really good accolades in the NBA, except
He's just
championships.
a scorer. Anywho,
So
Say that again, Jimmy. He's just a
no,
scorer.
no, I was being sarcastic. He's more than just a scorer. He's a
What is
competitor.
he? What
He's a
that's
competitor.
what
I've seen him play defense before. I've seen him, challenge Kobe down there.
name one NBA player that doesn't have that competitiveness in them because they
What?
had to have that. No, they had to have that to get to the NBA. You're not just
No,
making
no,
it to
no,
the
no, no,
NBA if you're not competitive.
no, no, no. You didn't hear what I just said. I said Kobe Bean. How
Hold
many
on,
motherfuckers?
hold on, hold
Challenging
on,
Kobe. You got to
hold
be
on.
top dog. D Wade, Braun type. KD. Those are the type of guys that are challenging the top dog. He was going back and forth with Kobe Bean Bryant in the Western Conference Finals. That is not just an NBA player. That is an elite NBA player who's more than just a scorer. There's a lot of scores in NBA history.
I know Kobe said that T Mac was one of his biggest as far as competitors. Did he also say Melo was hard?
He said the toughest.
He was the toughest guy, but Melo was
I
on
could have sworn that someone else said that Melo. It might have been. I don't know if it's one of the younger players that's in the league now, but someone said that Melo was one of their toughest players to guard. I mean, if the thing is that I don't get what you want. Like, is it is it hey, like I want you to go play with other talent to win championships? Hey, I want you to lead the team a bad roster. So if he was like a LeBron James that led that Cleveland Cavaliers team to the finals, and obviously we know that they weren't good. It was just LeBron was just that great and led that roster to a championship. Like, did you want Melo to do that? And at that time, the West was so tough. You had Kobe, you had the Spurs, you had the Suns, you had so many different teams, and then you poo-pooed the Timberwolves, but KG, we talking like KG wasn't a monster when he was on the Timberwolves. He became even more of a defensive threat when went on Boston. But as far as all around talent, he was a dog with the Timberwolves. I don't know. It was when Melo went to the Knicks. That's where his career was like, damn. We wish we could have saw more from Melo. But with the Nuggets, you can't tell me nothing. Melo was a dog.
And then one more thing about Melo, it's not just that he's a great scorer, or only a scorer. He's one of the most pure, complete scorers in NBA history. He can do it from a lot of angles, from every level. He can do off ball, on ball, post up game in the midst of
You
an
could say
offense
you
in the
could say a lot of
triangle.
these guys are just scorers for any if anything.
A lot of errors, or just defenders or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
And a
All
lot of
right.
them ain't getting praised like that. But next topic.
yo, yo,
All right. So NBA playoff matchups. NBA playoff matchups. I'll start this one with I think the Memphis Grizzlies don't want to see the Golden State Warriors. Now we've seen a rivalry. We got a little rivalry going on.
really?
The Warriors did beat the Memphis Grizzlies last year in the Western Conference Finals, if
Yo,
I'm not
Darius,
mistaken.
to be a
Yes, sir.
rivalry, you have to beat them when it matters.
No, no, you don't. I mean, you
Yes,
you
you do.
no, it doesn't. They just lost to the Warriors last year.
I'm saying the Grizzlies are not the Grizzlies are not the the Grizzlies are not the Warriors rival, bro. Like you have to win in order to be a rivalry.
They're always talking shit to each other. We got to
What that
see what
mean?
Ja comes back. The Warriors are trash on the road. They just lost to the Warriors last year in the playoffs to go to the finals. Draymond versus Dylan Brooks. I mean, they're talking shit everywhere. So in the playoffs, in the playoffs, I don't think the Memphis Grizzlies really want to match up with the Warriors because I think the Warriors' shooting ability and their veteran leadership will overcome that roster in the big games, in big moments. So I think that the Memphis Grizzlies don't want to see the Golden State Warriors.
I like that one. I like that one. They damn sure don't. Now, I won't even respond to the rivalry thing, but as far as the Knicks, the nightmare for the Knicks, it will be seeing those Brooklyn Nets and losing to them without Kyrie and KD. You talk about you thinking you're the team of New York right now without Kyrie and KD. Can you imagine if the Knicks made it to the playoffs and lost to the Nets? Mikal Bridges doing his thing, by the way, constantly going up. If those Nets would have beat the Knicks, oh my goodness, what a nightmare. Just continue.
Well, the only thing about that is the Knicks have beaten the Nets since the Mikal Bridges trade twice. But might I did every playoff team, but I see y'all only did one. So let me
No,
find the most.
I did three.
I got a couple.
Oh,
I got a couple players that will have nightmares, not just the team.
well, that could be interesting. Um, for me, the only team I see out there beating the Kings in the Western Conference is the Suns with Kevin Durant. That's
What is
the
going on?
only. Yes. How may I help you today, Jimmy?
The only team that can beat the Kings?
For right now, what I'm seeing, yes. I told you I was high on the Kings. The Kings have not done nothing for me to
No,
dissuade
you
me
are
on that.
tipsy or drunk on the Kings. This is not just high. This is a different level. Cuz what's going on? Wish I could see his face right
I'm
now.
not entertaining this man. He just says the like most outlandish
What is
shit that
going on?
I can't
And
understand sometimes.
I say stuff and then I get proven right, and then y'all poo me because y'all don't want
When?
to say Don, you was right. I told you the Bengals was gonna get that. It was gonna be like that. I believe both of y'all
What?
said that the Bengals was not gonna be doing
You
nothing.
said they would
But
make it to the Super Bowl
You
and
think the
win.
Kings is beating the Nuggets?
yes,
Wow.
like I'm not the Nuggets. The Nuggets on defense is really.
I could see the Kings
mm.
beating the Grizzlies. I could see the Kings beating the what's the Warriors. I could see them beating them. The Warriors don't play no defense. Um,
No team out west plays any defense. To be honest with you,
Goodness, this playoff basketball is very different. The game is slowed down.
it,
There's certain teams that are going to be able to play better defense because they have the
Jimmy,
team defense
but
within there.
I don't think the I don't
Jimmy,
besides them two
who can't
rosters.
they beat? Who can't they beat?
Besides those two rosters, I don't think they could beat anyone else. Like the Mavs, I don't think anyone could stop Luca. And then I
The
think the
Mavs might
Clips. I
even
think
make it.
Clippers. I think that'll be the team the Clippers would love to play, and the Clippers could beat them.
Yes. Clippers definitely. See, the thing is, we
Well,
assume that these young guys are just gonna play the same in the postseason. The average points per game is gonna drop. These guys are gonna be asked to do things on the road. Stars are gonna, they're supposed to play better at home. Let's hope the Kings could do that. They have home court advantage throughout most of the series if they do make it far. But let's not act like the teams at the bottom don't have experience. If they'll play those Lakers, that's my matchup. If the Kings play those Lakers, oh bye in 5. This is ridiculous here. So bonus is nice. I like it. But AD, he would kill him. The Joker, he would kill him. Who else? Who else out there? The Clippers spacing would kill them. The Clippers mind would kill them. Mike Brown, I like him, but there are other coaches that I believe in more so. Malone from the Nuggets, I believe in him as well. Memphis, they're going to be motivated. They're not losing to the Kings. I believe the Kings could. I think it goes 7 or 6, but I believe the star power of Ja will overcome or over do more than what De'Aaron Fox could. There's nothing in history that's allowed us to say these Kings can do anything. They're not proven. Nobody in the West is proven. But the trajectory of these teams, the Kings are surprising people. It ain't gonna shock me if they lose in the first round.
bro, look what you just said. You said there's nobody out west that's literally like world beaters, basically. And then you sat there and talked about all these other teams. Did you know the Kings are, I think it's the best clutch team in the fourth quarter? You know who's one of the worst? Those same Clippers. Who do we just see beat the Clippers in double overtime? Those same Kings. You bring up the bum. You
176.
bring you bring up the bum ass Lakers. They might not even make the playoffs. They can't even beat the Rockets. Let's relax.
Yo, don't
Who else?
disrespect
It
Houston.
wasn't
It
even
it wasn't
healthy.
even
Like, come on.
it wasn't supposed to be disrespect to
We
your
just we
Rockets,
just we just
really.
beat we just beat
But
the Celtics the other day.
It
but
did.
it wasn't meant to be disrespect towards your Rockets. It was more so just disrespect on the Lakers. But y'all just got caught in the crossfire, you know.
It's easy
But
to disrespect the Lakers when LeBron is out and AD
bro,
didn't play against the
y'all should
Rockets
not.
and versus the back against the back to
Should
back.
y'all have lost to the Rockets?
AD did not play. I think it's a
I'm
toss up.
I'm sitting here just asking roster for roster. I still would think the Lakers would beat the Rockets even without AD.
And out without LeBron. I beg to
Yes,
differ.
but and then you bring up the Grizzlies, bro. Really, the Grizzlies are not like that. Like you said, the Kings have not done nothing, and you're not gonna be shocked. You're not gonna be shocked if they lose. But
No man.
what have the Grizzlies done? I
But
mean, these teams.
They just
the what's name's done?
the Kings
No,
have
no,
done
that's the
nothing.
thing.
The
That's the
Kings.
thing. None of them have done anything, but yet
Memphis has
you
done
give,
more.
but then you give other people more credit. Like, oh yeah, they could do this or they could. None of them have done anything. So basically, it's your opinion. You're not high on the Kings. I am. You're higher on the Grizzlies than what I am.
History.
So
History's on my
what
side.
history? They
The
just
Kings
became
have done
relevant two
more.
years
When's the
ago.
last time the
They
Kings
just
made it to
became
the playoffs?
relevant. They just became relevant 2 years ago, but yet with my Bengals, y'all poo-pooed it. But now you want me to give the
No.
Grizzlies credit. You want me to give the
No.
Grizzlies
Again,
credit for being good for two
I
years.
said the
Come
Bengals are
on
number
now.
2 in the AFC, so I'm
No,
giving
no,
them
but
credit.
what I'm
Memphis
saying
is
is
not.
whenever we bring up the Bengals, you say you and Darius bring up it's only been 2 years. Grizzlies have only been good for 2 years.
No, that's not true. The Grizzlies organization have been playoff bound for a long time with Zach
Marcus
Randolph, Mike Conley,
Gasol,
Mark.
Mike
Stop playing.
Conley. Yep.
Tony Allen, stop playing. So this dates back further than what the Bengals
They
can
wasn't
show.
on. They wasn't on. But we made the play. Stop, bro. See, I'd be letting y'all get away with this nonsense. But today is
Yo,
going to be the day that I stop this nonsense.
so
Let's
you
stop
comparing
acting
your
like the
team to the
Bengals.
Memphis Grizzlies?
Let's stop acting like the Bengals didn't
Al
make the
Gasol,
playoffs.
Mike
Like
Miller.
He's
let's stop
crazy.
acting like we didn't make the playoffs four or 5 years in a row, and then we went on a stretch of 3 to 4 years of not making the playoffs. Stop acting like we wasn't like we
Mark
didn't
Gasol,
almost be. Bro, that's
defense
fine.
player of the
We
year.
had AJ Green. What that mean?
The point is, Memphis isn't the top dog in the West, and I don't believe the Kings can. It'll be. I said game 6, game 7. So I'm not saying that they just would smack them, but Memphis isn't one of those top teams. So we're comparing Memphis to not the Bengals in the NBA would be, let's say, the Mavericks, the Suns, a team that we expect to make it past the first round, a second round team, Western Conference type of team. Memphis to me isn't that, and we're saying what will it be against the Kings? The Bengals are not Memphis. The Bengals are more than Memphis.
hold up, hold up.
I'm talking about
Just
right
the
now.
other,
I'm talking about
no,
right now. I'm not
just
talking about the
the
last 20
other,
years.
just the other day, you and your goddamn cousin said the Bengals was the Grizzlies. Did y'all not?
I don't remember saying that.
Oh
No,
my God, I
I
got it
said
on. I'm
currently.
gonna send it to you.
The
I'm gonna send
Bengals
it
was
to
the
you.
And the
Grizzlies.
Bengals, the
Yes,
Grizzlies are damn sure not the Bengals because they don't have as much working with them as far as weapons and such. Joe Burrow is the top two quarterback. John Morant's not a top two point guard, top two player in the league. There's differences within them. And then Jamar
you
Chase
see,
top at his position. Who was Jaren Jackson, the top shot blocker? I mean, that's not nothing to compare.
but yet this is my point. When y'all have an opportunity to say something to me, y'all take the opportunity whether it makes sense or not. And I got the
No,
video of this because I posted it on TikTok, and I will happily put it in the group chat.
you know what? You gotta stop putting me in these categories because
You was the main one.
for some odd reason I think no I don't think what I mean by a lot what I say is I think that there are a lot of other competitive rosters. You just think that the Bengals are just running the table
No, I'm not talking about this argument today.
consistently
I ain't talking about
and
this
that is
argument
just the
today.
best team in the league. No one can touch them. And I'm just like they haven't even won the big game yet. Yeah, they've been there. The Falcons been there. Then the next year we lost in the playoffs. Guess what happened? You guys been there. You guys lost in the playoffs the next year. So it's the same shit. So you just haven't won the big game yet, and you haven't had any accolades to really even talk about to really even say that yeah the top dog. Same thing with Memphis. They haven't won anything yet, but a lot of other the Kings haven't won anything yet. Oh, the Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George hasn't won anything yet. But when what he was saying is, but like you said, it's a difference in opinion. You're higher on the Clippers than I mean on the Kings than we are. I'll give it to you. I think in a 7 game series, the Kings could sneak and possibly beat the Memphis Grizzlies. It's gonna be tough, but on any given night, they could put up 130 points easily.
In the playoffs,
You know,
And like Jimmy said, the playoffs is totally different. The game slows down. The points are a lot less. That's why I said Clippers their defense I think would show more. I think
Memphis
on
defense.
I think
I know,
on a bad shooting night, the Kings could sneakingly beat the Warriors on a bad shooting night.
it
Like
don't even got to be a
it'll
bad
be
shooting night.
tough.
It just got to be
But other
inside the
than
paint.
that, I don't see the Kings beating anyone else. But that's just me. Like you said, you're high on the Kings. I'm not.
He's
You know the
drunk on the
problem.
Kings.
The problem with y'all two is y'all two worry about the history too much,
I
and
don't
not
worry
what
about the
somebody's
history.
No,
and
you
not
just
what
don't like
somebody is
history because
doing
your
now,
teams are not
and
good
what
when it comes to history.
and what they're doing now. That's the problem. Y'all too busy worrying about what the
No,
Kings was
no,
years ago instead of what they're
you're
doing now. The
closed-minded.
Kings right. The
History
Kings right
allows you to see
now.
into the future.
No, it doesn't. Not
Yes, it
always.
does.
No,
Yes, it
it
definitely
doesn't.
does. If
Bro,
we're gonna
y'all
talk
was
about the
ass.
Memphis
Y'all was
Grizzlies
ass.
again,
Bro, y'all was ass before Tom Brady. But then y'all got Tom Brady. Y'all wasn't ass no more. So what in the history before Tom Brady showed made me think that y'all was gonna be win what
first
five,
off, coaching
six,
is a part of
six,
it.
six championships
His
before
development,
Tom Brady.
developing Tom
Before Tom,
Brady.
bro,
I don't
before
get I
Tom
don't
Brady
get
came
what
with a
you I
Bill
don't get what you're
Belichick or
saying.
whatever.
All right, like he's
Which
he's
one
saying
of
that
us?
history doesn't matter. That's basically what he's saying.
No, I'm going off what Jimmy. Jimmy just said history tells you what's gonna
It,
happen,
it
and I don't.
allows you to
That's
see
not
into the
true.
future.
That's
I didn't,
not
I didn't say
true
it
because
tells you. I
if
said
you
it
get
allows you to see into the future.
that's
Predictions.
not true because
If the
there's
if
been
the
multiple
Kings have not
teams.
been nothing, and the Memphis Grizzlies have been something, we can project that this year, what the Kings will fall off, and then Memphis will continue to have the trajectory that they've had for the last 3 years. If you look at the Kings' trajectory the last 3 years, they've been nothing. Period.
What does that mean?
What what do you mean? What does it mean? It means when we go look into the playoffs and what Jaren Jackson has done for the last couple of years, we know what he can bring to the table. We know that Dylan Brooks is a raunchy type of guy who's going to rah and get into you. John Morant is working to be the face of the league. Desmond Bain was a great draft pick. Brandon Clark was essential to the squad. What do we have to say about the Kings and their chemistry? There's a lot of things that Darren Fox has just now proven. Sabonis just got over there. Mike Brown Like this is a young roster. What do we have? What's the foundation? Fox is
Bro,
not Ja,
why does that Darren Fox is a really good point guard.
but he's not Ja
Sabonis is better than Jaren Jackson.
on
Like
one end
let's
of the
stop,
court.
bro. We're not doing this because it's gonna be the Drew Embiid and a Jokic argument because
I'm,
the bro impacts winning way more than
we're
damn
talking about,
Jaren Jackson.
but we're talking about playoff style basketball. When it happens, Memphis
Then Jaren
defense will
Jackson.
elevate
Yeah, bro. Hey, y'all better
defensively.
see. I feel like no, not defensively,
That's
but
what I'm talking about.
all around passing,
Of course,
shooting,
offense.
all
Yeah,
rebounding, all
Well,
of
that's
that,
his
bro.
game.
of course.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So that's this is the problem when you bring up, oh, what have they done in the past? Yes, that's a cool little argument that you want to
Cool.
hang your hat on because there's nothing else that you could say. Like you can't discredit. Honestly, the Kings probably have been the most impressive team in the Western Conference this year. To be honest with you,
Right, because
it's
of
just
their
that it's
expectations at the
just,
beginning of the season.
but it's their reputation is why people hold back on saying, oh yeah, the Kings could be they should be the favorites in the West, but because it's the Kings, people aren't saying that.
Based off their reputation, which is based off of what you've done in the past, which is
But
exactly what I've been
but
saying.
my thing with that is and there's no team out here that has a reputation of winning the first time that they get into the league. So the Patriots wasn't the Patriots until Tom Brady came there. The Chiefs wasn't the Chiefs until Patrick Mahomes came there. Like they wasn't winning nothing. Just like how y'all say the Bengals aren't winning nothing, we haven't won nothing. They wasn't winning nothing before these players came there. So you can't
Yo,
sit here and be like, oh,
you,
they wasn't nothing.
you went back to football, so I'm gonna do it with you. You said the Patriots just a second ago will win around 7 games to be competitive. We can say that because the Patriots, even with Matt Castle, have been consistent. Even with Drew Bledsoe, they were in the talks for being in the contention for the playoffs. So we, based off trajectory, not just Tom Brady, we're allowed to see that this franchise is going to compete because it's a revolving door there. Miami Heat, they don't need the top signing to compete. They can get somebody off the G League or free agency and develop talent, late draft picks and develop talent. History matters. You just like to ignore history because your team's history doesn't favor them.
Bro, it's not that I like to ignore history. It's just that history isn't everything because once you get
It's
a
not everything.
game changer, it can change whatever you want to say. Oh, their history was this. Yes, the Bengals' history was trash before we got Joe Burrow, but now it's looking way brighter than it's ever been. The Chiefs' history wasn't that favoring until they got Patrick Mahomes. Like if you get somebody that's a legit player that can change the trajectory of your franchise, history doesn't really matter. I'm not saying De'Aaron Fox is that. I'm not. But all I'm saying is let's stop acting like this history is the only thing that can determine if you're going to be a successful team because the Patriots wasn't the Patriots before Tom
It's
Brady.
not the only thing. I'm not saying it's the only thing,
Bill
but it definitely
Belichick
matters.
wasn't highly regarded until
Bill Belichick won a
after
Super Bowl
Tom
before the
Brady.
Patriots.
He wasn't the head man. He was assistant.
So he was a part of
What?
that defense. What he has championship experience and pedigree. That matters. Just like Russell Wilson, you keep shitting on Russell Wilson.
Oh my
Players who have
god.
won championship and have pedigree and made it to the pinnacle and won, not just made it there and had
All
an
right,
appearance to
all
look cute
right,
for the
all
camera.
right, fellas. Let's get to the next one you got. I got Denver. I don't think Denver wants to see the Mavs because none of these guys can really guard Luca, and they haven't played the Mavs with Kyrie. And the Joker and the series is 2-2. So we're not going to talk like this haven't been, a very competitive series. The in one game, the Mavs beat them by 30, and another game the Mavs won by 1, and another game the Nuggets won by 9-1. So it's a very competitive matchup. Joker has yet to score over 20 points versus the Mavs so far. Uh, I mean, Denver on the off night, Luca and Kyrie is going to light you up because these guys are hot. I rarely see them two have a cold night, and there's no one on Denver that's going to be able to guard Luca. And honestly, I, that'll be a tough series for Denver, and I think the Mavs could take that series in 7.
I like that. I mean, I have no pushback there. No, none at all.
Well, we gotta stop pushing these narratives of, the Mavericks might not even make the playoffs. So let's relax on that. And since Kyrie has came there, they've had a losing record. You said there's nothing that they could do with Kyrie and Luka. That's true. What they gonna do with Jokic though? Because Dallas
I
literally
just said
has
that
nobody
Joker hasn't even scored over 20 points, and the series is 2-2.
in the playoffs. He ups his game. Have we not said that
But
before?
we didn't even see the Kings play in the playoffs. So how do we know if they're going to continue to score 127 points per game? And you also
Because
said the only team
using
you
your
also said the
argument,
only team that can
using your
beat them
argument,
is the Suns.
yes,
So
using your argument, we've seen them do it in the playoff. We've seen Jokic deliver in the playoffs before. That was y'all two argument just a few
you
minutes
just,
ago.
Deliver what? What did the Joker delivered in the playoffs? Lucas
I'm saying
delivered more.
bro.
next
They've
one,
gotten
next
the
one, next
same
one, next
the
one, next
same
one.
level.
What you got, Jimmy?
Man, oh man, y'all not gonna like this one too much, and I don't either, because I don't like to, necessarily pray on a man downfall, because I'm not. But I like to look back in history. And Chris Paul, you have not been that durable when it comes to postseason. So be a nightmare to see this man go down yet again when this is probably his best opportunity to win the championship. Chris Paul, I hope for your health. Suns, let's see what you got.
Don, what you got?
Who is their worst nightmare? Oh, you saying the playoffs is his worst nightmare?
It's Chris Paul's injury
The disrespect.
again
The
would
disrespect.
be a nightmare for him. Him being injured again while trying to reach the pinnacle. You've seen it before. I don't want to see it again.
I'm just gonna move on from that. We ain't
Well,
doing
it would be a
nothing
nightmare.
We ain't
Would it
doing
not?
anything
I mean, come
crazy,
on.
bro. I
I'm not
can't.
even shitting on him. I'm just saying I hope it don't
What do you
happen. I
call
want to see
that?
this man
What do
play.
you?
It would be a nightmare if he got hurt.
Okay, well, you gonna make me change mine. Uh, the worst nightmare for the Suns? No one. They spanking everybody out there in the West, regardless of Chris Paul.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm talking about for Chris Paul, not the Suns. You believe in the Suns without Chris Paul. I'm just saying I hope Chris Paul's there, a part of the equation.
All right. For the third
I
one,
hope
for my
LeBron and AD is there
I do too.
yeah, because right now it's looking like they're not gonna make it.
because they just as injury prone as Chris Paul is becoming.
Not true. Not true. AD, yes, but not LeBron.
So for my third one, I got the Knicks. They don't want to see the Bucks. Them Bucks is too big and too physical for them. No one can guard Giannis. He's gonna give Julius Randle buckets. And Drew Holiday in the playoffs, I think he's clamping up Brunson. I don't think Brunson's gonna be able to, go 7 games with Drew Holiday. He'll give you buckets, but I think it's gonna be tough for him. And the experience in the postseason for the Bucks is gonna overtake that Knicks roster. And breaking news, the Cowboys just got Brandon Cooks, by the way.
Ooh, nice. Open up that
And
run game.
the Knicks are 0-3 versus the Bucks right now in the regular season, so they can't beat that roster. But I will say the Knicks versus another squad, it's going to be tough for 7 games. 7-game series is tough. But on any given night, versus a team that's not as defensive minded as the Bucks, I mean, they can give like the Heat buckets. They can give the Celtics buckets. But 7 games is tough. Going against any one of those teams is tough. But I don't think the Knicks want to see the Bucks.
I feel that. I definitely agree. For me, it's that man Jason Tatum. It's a nightmare if this man does not play well because he came off one of the worst postseason performances, including the finals as well. I expect Jason Tatum to take a leap as he has done this regular season, and if it doesn't happen, it'll be a nightmare for him.
Yeah, the players that you choose, I just be looking like, bro, what?
Are you not tapped into what happened last year in the postseason or what has happened in Chris Paul's career while he's trying to reach the
You just
pinnacle?
going off
It will
the.
be
You just going
nightmares
off
for
the
those
finals.
guys if these things happen. If he
You
played
just
like
going off
shit
the
against Jason
finals.
Tatum, huh?
Are you just going off the finals for Jason Tatum?
No, I'm going off the whole postseason.
Yeah, the whole
Even let the
postseason,
whole-
it was
You
bad.
can't be going off. You can't be going off the whole postseason because I
Why?
vividly remember. Because I vividly remember, bro dropped 40 something on the Bucks, and then in Game 7 he showed up again against the Bucks. And let's act like Jason Tatum was a total fluke last year in the playoffs.
I didn't say
No,
that.
I
you
give
didn't
you
say
the
it was a
finals.
fluke. It's the
Listen,
turnover. It's the turnovers.
But
Are
the
you
team
listening?
was turning over. The team was turning
Him
over
and
Okay,
Jalen
he's
offensively.
Brown
the
was
bro.
turning over the
This
ball
nigga
at a
here.
high.
This nigga here.
It's a crazy
Like you
record.
Bro,
Like
I'm not
you
sitting.
reaching for
I'm
me to
not
shit
sitting
on
here
niggas.
saying. I'm not
The
sitting
fuck?
here saying that he didn't. I'm just sitting there saying it wasn't just them two. The whole team was turning the
they
ball
was
over.
they
Okay,
was
I'm not
turning the
speaking
ball
on the
over
whole team. I
3.
said Jason Tatum, the head dog of the Celtics, the dude who's supposed to take the next step and be that guy. The dude we say has a Mamba mentality, or we question his mentality, needs to play better than last year because it was all time worse. What's wrong with that? It's a nightmare if he does it again. What's wrong with that?
And that
What's
run,
wrong?
I don't know. I still think the run was a little.
Word down. Chris Middleton, where were you? Tyler Hero, where were you? Jimmy Butler, I think he was sat out a game and he was
Was a
inconsistent
Bam
too.
hurt too?
Yes,
Yeah.
banged
So I
up.
mean, they beat up on a hurt Heat roster. I still think that Nets roster was just mentally they were done. But give or take, it was Kyrie and KD. Okay, cool. Middleton, the Bucks didn't even have their third wing, and then in the finals, I mean, the turnovers was horrible. Him and Tatum, I mean, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, the way they were turning the ball over was ugly.
That's all fine and dandy. Tatum is the least of my worries, to be honest with you, in the playoffs.
I think Jalen Brown is more of a killer instinct than Tatum.
I agree.
That's okay. If that's what you want to say. I don't agree, but hey, everybody got their own opinions. It's like a butthole. Um, I will say this. Uh, my worst matchup for my Miami Heat is anybody. You know what I'm
Wow,
saying? Hey,
that's
I'm here to be
disrespectful to
one.
y'all.
Bro, one thing about me, I'm gonna be honest. I don't do that biasness. I know y'all got this view of me being biased, but I tell the truth. So my Miami Heat, they can even beat the Chicago Bulls last night. What gives you any hope against Bucks, Celtics? And I get it. Sometimes they play up to their competition. That's all fine and dandy. You can never count on Jimmy Butler, but I'm sorry. It's everybody but Jimmy Butler. I can't do this no more. I can't keep having false hope for this team. Like I can't.
So the Raptors, you believe the Raptors could beat y'all?
I don't think we would match up together because the Raptors not even they're not
No,
in
you
the
said
top eight.
everyone. You just said everyone. So I'm going to go through everyone. I'm not just going to go to the top dogs. I'm going to go to there's 8 seeds out there.
When
Okay,
yeah, but the Raptors
tell me.
aren't part of it.
Hmm?
The Raptors aren't in the
I'm,
top eight.
they're in the play-in.
But if
I'm just
okay,
speaking on teams who could
okay,
make it.
if we just going if we going off of that,
The
no, I
Knicks,
don't think the Raptors can beat us. The Knicks will beat
the Nets.
us.
Like
It's
you can't just
possible.
say everyone.
It's
Understand who your coach
it's
is.
possible. It's possible. Mikal Bridges dropped 40 on us.
Playoff Jimmy buckets is very different in the playoffs. Okay,
Bro, you ain't gotta
I'm just
try to
saying it's
convince
disrespectful
me.
to Miami.
I
That's a revolving door
no,
over
I
there.
just I just
Greatness.
told you. I believe in everybody except I believe in Butler except I believe in Butler but everybody else.
You don't believe in Eric Spoelstra? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but bro, I like Eric Spoelstra. He's a top five coach in my mind. But let's stop acting like we have the talent to go up against a Boston, uh, um, Bucks, Sixers. Like, bro, this ain't that no more. Like, the league has gotten way better. The Cavs probably will blow our ass out.
I agree about the top dogs. You just said everyone, and I just believe Miami is better than a lot of those teams out there. I think they're at least top 5, top 4 team out there.
What have we shown you? It's crazy that you defended my team versus me.
Because again, your team's history post LeBron, even with the bubble, even outside the
Here we
bubble,
go.
that just was
Here we
in the
go with
Eastern
the
Conference Finals
history. Here
last
we go
year.
with the history stuff, Jimmy.
Bro,
Yes,
why do you
history.
continue to talk about just today when Jimmy Butler has proven throughout his career that he's an elite bucket getter and a difference maker in the postseason compared to the regular season? Eric Spoelstra has been in the postseason time and time again as a top. That's why we consider him a top 5 coach. You said top 5 because of what he's done for you, not just what he's done for you lately.
That's a fact, but I can also see. I can also become. I can also come to the conclusion that this ain't it. This core. This ain't doing it no more. Like yeah, it did
I
it for
agree.
the past couple of years, but that's all fine and dandy. But this not that. We did 2 years ago. We
Yo,
got swept by the
yo,
Bucks.
Don,
Yo,
yo, Jason Tatum has. Yo, Jason Tatum has the most turnovers in a single postseason all time, bro.
That's what I'm
That was last year.
saying.
I get that,
Yo,
but
bro.
he
In
ain't the
one
one I'm
single
worried about.
postseason, he had 100 turnovers. Yo,
But that's ridiculous,
that's
bro.
crazy.
What
That's
did Harden
crazy.
have?
Yeah,
What?
he's close. He's close.
What did
What
Harden
hard?
have?
Nah, the next one's LeBron. Then it's Wade.
No, I asked about Harden.
Oh, Harden? Harden not even on the
Yes,
list.
Wow,
he
that's
not
what's up.
on the list.
Nope.
But that's also because he played less games because he didn't make it to the finals.
That's
Oh yeah,
also
he
true.
can never make it to the finals.
Very true. Yo,
That's crazy right there.
yeah, 100 turnovers is crazy. So let's get on to this. Anyone else had a playoff matchup?
Nah.
Cool. All right, 32 teams in 10 weeks. Don, you want to start this off?
Yeah, I can. Hey, I love to talk. Here we go. They saw they the Saints. I know there's some haters out here who want to see the Saints fail, but
With
not
Jimmy?
me. To
Oh,
to Jimmy. Jimmy don't got a dog in this race. Jimmy don't care.
Not no more. Not no more.
But what I will say is, the Saints they solved their well, they tried to solve their quarterback situation.
they
Their
won the
D
Super Bowl?
line, bro. Why do you go from 0 to 100?
I'm just
No,
saying.
you go.
Yo, you do the same thing. Are we winning Super Bowls or we being competitive? Because if we're being competitive, there's a lot of teams that's competitive. But if there's supposedly just
Bro,
Super Bowls, I mean, according to you, there's only one team that's really doing it, and that's the Bengals. But go ahead.
bro, I don't understand how you just went from 0 to 100. I ain't say nothing about no Super Bowl for them. Like, why?
Hey,
I just said they solved their quarterback issue, and you went straight up. Are they winning the Super Bowl? Bro, I ain't said nothing.
that's why you bring in Derek Carr
Oh,
to win Super Bowl. Hey, you know what? Go ahead. I ain't gotta worry.
yeah.
I'm not worried.
You ain't got to be worried to finish last in your division.
Damn, last.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm not worried about me and last. We're not gonna be last.
Baker? I thought you meant. But anyway, go ahead. Same.
I ain't high on Baker, but they still got like a little bit of a championship roster still. So
They
I
lost
can at
three.
least
They lost three starting D linemen. Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, I think you said it earlier, like in a few episodes ago, that Tyrann Mathieu isn't the same Tyrann Mathieu. But okay, yeah, go ahead. You got Michael Thomas who hasn't played in 3 years. Jarvis Landry. You know what? That's the guy right there. Jarvis Landry. I forgot. Yeah, go ahead.
he's not on the roster, but they
Oh,
got Michael
damn.
Thomas coming back. They also have Olave.
I like
They still
Olave.
have
I like Olave. He's a good player.
yo. Can I get through my
Oh,
breakdown?
okay. My bad.
Jeez, so much hate.
I'm showing love. I just said Chris Olave is a good player. I just show love to the Saints.
As soon as I start with a little team, are they winning the Super Bowl? Oh, Jarvis Landry, bro, relax. I get it. You worried. I get it.
I'm not worried.
I would be too if y'all decided to bring back Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ritter.
Better than
But
Derek Carr.
I wish you could see my face right now.
Yep.
Anyways, the Saints, they try to remodel their D line. They bought in two big defensive linemen. Rich signed Michael Thomas. I still think that they should try to go get somebody on the cheap. Who that will be, I'm not sure. But I'm sure there's still some decent wide receivers still out there. They signed Jamal Williams. That's insurance for Alvin Kamara, who might get suspended X amount of games this year. And they lost a few defensive starters, try to recruit some of that in the draft. And one player might surprise you, who I think they should try to go get. I think they should try to go get Frank Clark. They need edge rushers. They let Davenport go. They don't really have no replacement right now. So go get Davenport. I think they're in prime position to win The NFC South.
Wow. Interesting. Trying to think of the teams. Bucks, Falcons. They'll compete. Panthers, they'll compete. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Who out there you have more confidence in right now?
That's what I'm.
Darius, don't you answer.
It really depends on who the Panthers select that quarterback. But as far as complete roster and playoff style football, I think the Falcons can compete with anyone. I believe the Bucks defense will keep them in games.
Bro, Jimmy,
The
you
Saints
don't have
have
to
to
say
stay
that just
healthy.
because that's your. You don't have to say that just because that's your cousin team.
No, this is based off last year too.
But it's not
I
based
watched
off.
the Bucks
It's
a
not
good bit
based
last
off
year.
reality. It's not based off
This
reality.
is
We
this is
won
reality.
7 games
Yeah,
the last 2 years.
yeah, like it was a race
So did
last year
so
for a
did
reason.
so did multiple teams in your division.
But you
Let's
but you
factor
just
that's
that
said
the
out.
point. They're on the
but
same
wait, you
tier.
just clapped up the Patriots, but we won the same amount of games as the Patriots.
I
That's a little
clapped up the
different.
Patriots.
Yeah,
You
you
did
just said,
clap them
oh,
off
you
because I
said
said they were losers.
you said they're gonna not be the last team in their division.
No, he
Yeah,
said
that's
they'll be
because
last with 7-8 games.
that's because I'm not as high on the teams in that division, but your division. I mean, y'all don't really have nobody out there that I can see actually competing with the Saints. To be honest with you,
How?
Because of Derek Carr. He's so high on Derek Carr.
I'm so high, or he's actually a proven commodity
Proving
over
what?
going.
Proving what?
He showed a level of consistency that he could be. He's a top 15 quarterback when
Bro,
healthy.
this man's crazy.
15, yeah. 16, 15, 14. Yeah, somewhere in there. Now,
Like,
the thing, the
am I
Saints,
tripping by that when he does play? Is he not a top 15 quarterback?
see, you're not tripping as far as the evaluation of the quarterbacks, comparing the quarterbacks, but we're not just comparing quarterbacks, we're comparing rosters. And if you're talking about the best players on the Saints, they're not as reliable as the best units of the Falcons. The Falcons aren't just based off of one guy, they're based off of a scheme, a system of pounding football. If the Saints don't have their top guys, what are they going to be? And that's a big question because Michael Thomas, what, 3 years, something like that,
It's,
and Alvin Kamara, what, and then
it,
Tyron. Y'all just spoke on Tyron. The Panthers, it depends on who's that quarterback and if they actually can run the ball consistently. And the Bucks, Baker is make it or break it for Baker. The defense is there.
We don't got to bring him
listen,
up.
listen. Just looking at first of all, last year the Falcons lost 4 games within 3 points. 4 games. We only got blown out by 1 game, and I'm not gonna bring that team up or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Bengals.
and like the other four, we only lost by like 6 points. So I mean, if you ask me, there's with a better roster. I mean, you get Cordell Patterson back at the running back position. You have Tyler Algier. Hopefully, he can develop into a better player. We get better in the secondary by bringing in Jesse Bates. AJ Terrell is a good corner. Casey Hayward, believe it or not, he's actually even at his age is still a really good corner in the league. Like his man-to-man coverage per PFF is actually still really high. So I mean, y'all can laugh, y'all can poo-poo it, but the numbers don't lie. I mean, man-to-man coverage, he's a difference maker, and he didn't even play majority of the year last year. Kyle Pitts didn't play last year. So I mean, with another receiver, we still have our entire O line that actually elevated their game last year. So I'm not really worried about the Panthers that has no offense. I'm not worried about the bum ass Tampa Bay Bucks that hasn't done nothing, hasn't been nothing.
Now they're bums.
Yeah, the bum ass Bucks who hasn't been nothing since Brady came and fucking ruined my last 3 years. And the only team that really been competitors that really competed was the Saints. That's the only team I really worried about. And they don't. I'm not worried about Derek Carr. I don't care about Derek used Carr. It's okay. Keep him. Whatever. If that's your future, I'm cool with that.
Bro, the problem is you're so low on Derek Carr, but Derek Carr has proven more than both of the quarterbacks that you got.
He doesn't win playoff games. He's only been in the playoffs once with the Raiders. He was the franchise quarterback of the Raiders. They paid him as the franchise guy.
Can
he
either
didn't
one
get
of your
it done.
quarterbacks get to the
They
playoffs?
brought him there. Yo, they brought John Gruden didn't even like Derek Carr. They wanted to ship him out of there the first time. McDaniels comes in. They were thinking about shipping him out. Then they was like, no, we're going to pay him. Then they saw his bum ass season. Then they was like, nah, let's get this guy out of here. Devontae Adams, I feel sorry for you, bro. You should have went to a better organization than the Raiders. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Derek Carr. But go ahead.
We already got a
Positivity,
bet.
positive vibes, man.
We already got a bet. You say you don't want to call people trash, but you over here calling people bum ass. How that works? But hey, we gonna find out real soon who gonna have a better season. We already got a bet on it. But y'all, you is
Jimmy G better than
your
Derek Carr.
love.
True.
Yeah, we both know that's a lie. Your love for the Falcons. I get it. I got the same love for my Bengals, so it makes you biased. But I agree. Y'all upgraded some of y'all pieces around there. That's all fine and dandy. You still have to have a quarterback that can actually win you games, and I'm not sold on either one of them. I trust Derek Carr more than I trust either one of those two.
That's fine. That's because you haven't seen him play, but it's okay. It's okay.
All right. For me, the Browns, before I say anything about these Browns, what I would like to say first is
It's Jimmy's team.
I have to, especially on Madden. I like them on Madden. But the thing about these Browns is the expectation. I have to keep the same energy because of what they have in place. You talking about Myles Garrett, a generational talent. You talking about Nick Chubb, in my mind, the best running back in the league. You talking about Deshaun Watson, a talented individual all time, regardless of when he played the last 2 years, next 2 years, 2 years in Clemson, whatever. A talented guy. You add that with
Top
a nice
10.
line. Say it again.
Top 10.
In my mind, he should be at the end of this year, just like he said, Jordan. See, you see the difference in the blasphemy,
Okay.
the level of blasphemy with Jordan Love top 10 and Deshaun Watson, who has been top 10, along with a better situation to assist him in getting to top 10 again. This is where my mind goes with it. And these Browns, I believe they have everything in place except for what I thought was the D line, but they just actually got some solid guys. There. You talking about Tomlinson from the Vikings? You talking about Maurice Hurts from where'd he come from? Can't do y'all remember? I can't remember. Anywho, they got three nose guards who are solid. Hill from the Cowboys / Cardinals. They needed to help in interior when it comes to the interior line. Deion Jones is a free agent now. They got Jeremiah and they got Taki or whatever back. But I believe they need to draft with the second round pick because they don't have a first round pick because of going to get an elite talent like Deshaun Watson. You go spend and you go give up assets to get him. But with this second round pick, I believe they should get Noah Sewell from Oregon. This guy is more so of a tweener. He can get after the rush. He can do a little bit of a 3-4 scheme, which is not what the Browns run. But I believe he would fit either with the Ravens or with the Browns. And the reason I feel he can fit with the Browns is because his versatility. I've seen him in the spy. I've seen him in the middle of the field, able to stop the run, and that's the biggest weakness of the Browns is their run game. John Jones III helped that run game, but they just released him. They also released Jadeveon Clowney, which frees up about $10 million cap space, and that's essential for the Browns because their cap situation is in hell. They also restructured Deshaun Watson's deal, and I think they're looking to restructure Denzel Ward's deal in the future, along with Myles Garrett. This will allow this roster, which is good on paper. I believe they're capable, more than capable. It comes down to the X's and O's and be able to execute with the talent that's there because they're not starving for talent. I believe they need also a third receiver to maybe take the top off the defense. They added someone who Deshaun Watson is familiar with, and Jordan Atkins from the Texans, a tight end. Not a big pickup, but someone who could potentially help. What's his name? David Njoku. So I believe that will assist in the Browns extending their window. This year's key next year is a big dot deal because now, just like you release Clowney and Johnson the third, I believe more guys will be released. And they're talking about their left tackle being released from Alabama. What's his name? Willis Jr., I believe. And I don't believe that's the best route. I believe if you can get a better lineman, that's dope. But sacrificing the protection and the strength of your team, which allows Nick Chubb to eat and be what he is, isn't the right formula. Kareem Hunt needs to be replaced, but think they need to replace him with more of a speedster. Give a different dimension to this offense so that they can attack in different ways. Get Deshaun Watson out the pocket a little bit more. Allow Amari Cooper to see more one-on-ones. This Browns team is capable. Definitely capable, especially if Lamar's gone, to battle for that number 2 Slot, if Tomlin was coaching this team, we would be talking about Super Bowl aspirations. If Sirianni can prove something with the X's and O's, I believe this Browns team can go as far as the Super Bowl.
Stefanski.
There you go, Stefanski.
Don, you got
So
anything on that?
yeah, nah, I thought I was gonna have to say something, but he didn't do too much. I mean, he might have he. I'm not with him on they would still be the second best team in the AFC North. I'm still would take the Steelers over them, but I mean, I'm not gonna argue too much on that because I don't give a damn which one of them finish second. To be honest with you,
As long as
but
y'all first.
yeah, hey, Darius, I ain't had nothing to say because he didn't say no blasphemy about my Bengals or anything. So I'll let Jimmy ride. Go ahead, my brother.
Pause.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, they did get a lot of D linemen. They're trying to definitely get a rotation of pass rushers in there, which is nice. A lot of big bodies. Um, uh, I don't know. I'm not high on the Browns. They do have a nice little their third down running back, Dearness Johnson. Don't sleep on him. So he
Yeah,
he would be the
it's not.
He
replacement
was
for
good like
Kareem.
a year. He was good a year ago or something like that.
Oh yeah, for Kareem Hunt when Chubb and Kareem Hunt was hurt, he came in and cooked up. So they got that there, but
They making the playoffs?
no, no, it's
They
gonna be a bad,
better.
it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be a
shit
bad
on them.
team.
Yes.
See, here you go again. They ain't
What?
no they better. I just need a yes or a no.
I
Yes.
think they're gonna win just
Obviously.
about the same amount of games. They're gonna win 7 games.
Because if we going, I know we got to get time for you to go to yours, but we going off of what you just said. History has shown us the Browns are not going to be good because history tells us what's going to happen in the future.
True, and they also haven't had a guy like Nick Chubb or Miles Garrett or Deshaun Watson, someone who I have high regards for. So this
Darius,
Browns roster, I expect them to do more.
Darius, Darius,
Who has been Deshaun Watson for the Browns in the last 40
Darius,
years, 30 years?
Don,
Who's Nick Chubb on their roster?
Darius.
The expectation needs to rise because these guys are better than anybody they've ever had before. You shit on Baker. Is Deshaun Watson Baker?
Bro, that's not my argument. My point is,
That's my argument, though.
I just know, but I literally just said this a few minutes ago when we were discussing team championships as far as the Bengals and like teams like that, and you said history shows us what they're gonna be, and you wasn't here to hear none of that stuff about when they get a generational talent that can change stuff. You didn't have nothing to say about that. But now for the Cleveland Browns, they got Nick Chubb, they got Miles Garrett, they got Deshaun Watson.
What?
Why does it change now?
No, what I'm saying is these guys should help change the trajectory of what they've been. What they've been is their history. Their history has not had these guys a part of it. You're talking about the Bengals. What I'm saying is the Bengals have to lean on the top dogs. The Browns need to lean on the top dogs because they don't have a consistent a turning wheel of progression when it comes to winning or reaching the pinnacle. Y'all need to lean on top end talent because y'all don't have the top end minds behind y'all organization.
What? Darius, can you help me translate?
hey brother.
Jesus.
What? Y'all don't.
What?
You have to lean
What
on the
the
top dogs in the
hell?
leage, like Miles Garrett, defensive
What
player of the
in
year,
the
candidate year in
hell?
and year out. Certain
Yeah.
teams don't need that. The Ravens don't need that. Even without Ray Lewis,
Oh,
they've
I
been
see.
relevant.
I see this Deshaun Watson deal is not working out very well, and they are going to be bad. They are going to be in cap hell for the next 3 years with Miles Garrett, their
with Nick
cornerback.
Chubb, with Deshaun Watson,
Yeah,
it don't
with
matter.
Nick Chubb. Yeah, get ahead, bro. You can have that team. I'm good.
They went all
It just
in. Let's see if it'll
it
work.
just it's just the fact that you're so high on them because they have this talent, they have that talent, but yet just a few minutes ago I was saying the same thing. Oh, the Bengals have this talent, they have that
Bro, why
talent,
do you keep bringing up
but
the
yet
Bengals? I said the Bengals based off talent are number two. Like you keep acting like I'm disrespecting the
no,
Bengals.
I mean, we
bro.
can
What I'm saying is you were saying that based off of their history, you can tell what they're gonna be. That was your line, right?
Yes, that no. First off, that wasn't my line with the Bengals because the Bengals' history, just like the Browns' history, is going to be different than what it currently is today. You're banking on the Bengals being good
How
for
you changing up
forever,
now?
or no? I'm not changing up. You think every phrase applies for every situation when every situation brings out a different phrase. Like that, your situation and the Brown situation is very similar because y'all have top end talent. You have a top end
It's
quarterback,
not the
generational
same.
talent. you have a top end quarterback generational talent. So to me, y'all can get further than what the Browns can. But the Browns roster completely, who's Miles Garrett on your defensive line? I believe he can
Bro,
change the game. Nick Chubb, who you handing the ball off to, that's Nick Chubb caliber. I believe that style of play can change the game, can affect people. I believe highly of Deshaun Watson. I believe he'll bounce back. If Deshaun Watson wasn't out for 2 years, what would y'all be saying? It's because Deshaun was out for 2 years that you don't trust him. I do.
I see it as he went to chase the bag, and he's going to get his bag,
because he wasn't
and
even going
he's
to
going to
go there.
be. Yeah, he wanted to come to Atlanta. He wanted to
True.
come to
Which
Atlanta,
would have been
100%.
shitty. Which would have been shitty. I'm
I
sorry.
would have been. Honestly, I was all in with Deshaun, but after what I seen, I'm happy we didn't go that route. So
But yet, he's still high on Russ. But hey, like, Darius, you are not the target of my of my stuff right now. So I'm gonna
That's a
leave it
whole
alone,
Russ is a whole different situation. Stop applying the same logic there.
bro. All I know is you be switching up, bro. You need to change your
Situation
mindset
switch
this
up.
year
So I have like you don't,
because
bro.
a few minutes
Every
ago,
day,
no,
see
hold
that's what
on,
I'm saying.
hold
You
on. A
you
few
like to
minutes
no
ago,
no no because you like to look at history and then look at now, then look in the future. No, we need to bring them all
Jimmy, I
together and
only go off of
talk.
what you say. I only go off of what you
No,
say.
you
When we was
pick and
bringing up the
choose when you
Kings,
listen to what I
no,
say. There's a
up,
difference,
when we was talking about the Kings, you said
bro. The Kings
the
haven't
Kings
done
haven't,
shit. They don't
in
have Joe Burrow. They don't
their
have Nick
history has
Chubb.
been, bro, their history has been better than the Cleveland Browns. That's a
Again, and they
fact,
don't have Miles Garrett. They don't have Nick Chubb. They don't have Deshaun Watson. They
bro.
don't have Mark Cooper. They don't have one of the best lines in the league.
Stop
Come
acting like
on.
De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis is not
Bro, they
literally
are a
almost a
top
top 10.
15, 20 tandem dynamic duo in the league. Stop it.
They're like 11. They're like 11, 12. Let's relax.
Crazy. You stay so here in 2023. Open your mind. What has De'Aaron Fox done for
Put
you
money. Put
forever, not
money.
just lately? It's crazy.
What has the Browns done ever,
Bro, Nick Chubb has been the best running back in the league, top 5
bro?
religiously. Miles Garrett as well.
And
Their
what
O
has they
line
got?
is
What
ridiculous.
has
Amari
that?
Cooper is come on.
What
Let's get
has
to this
that
last
got them
team.
besides missing the goddamn playoffs?
These are top talents combined now.
I
Now
don't
when you
care
combine the
about
talent,
that,
I expect a lot.
All
bro. What
right.
Like
has
the
they got
Kings
them?
have
All
Have
all
right.
they
these
The
roles.
have they
Titans.
made the
Titans.
playoffs,
Titans.
Yes, with Baker. So I
Titans.
expect more with Deshaun.
The Titans. Okay.
Deshaun is ass. He washed now. Moving
He's
on.
Baker now.
Moving
Baker,
on.
you shit on Baker religiously. Are we shitting on Deshaun the same?
Moving on. The thing about it, I didn't even want to say that about
Ridiculous.
Deshaun, but it's the fact that you just be praising this guy. I don't even believe that he's ass, but I had to say that because you sit here and be praising this man too much.
I don't
Let's
praise him. I
relax.
have high expectations. He has not reached the expectations I have for him. I have high, and if he doesn't, I say religiously, I'll shit on him. What's the issue?
All right.
What,
All right. All
you know,
right.
go
All
ahead. Go ahead,
right.
Darius. Go ahead, Darius.
Okay. The Titans.
We're
I
going to have this
think
conversation another day, Jimmy.
I
I
think
promise
they're
you that.
teeter tottering whether they want to be a bad roster or they want to just be a rebuilding roster. And I think they need to make up their minds on what they actually really want to do because I don't think they're going to be better than the Colts and I don't think they're going to be better than the Jags. First thing they need to do, go ahead and trade Derrick Henry, do the Bill Belichick way, and trade a player before it's too late. While you can maximize Derrick Henry's value now, go ahead and trade for him. Get it. I mean, you're not going to get a first round draft pick, so just get that out your mind. Trade him for a second round draft pick. Trade him to the Miami Dolphins, who wants to take all the players. So send him to Miami. Um, but you got to hit on your first round draft picks because your last four was bad. The last four first round draft picks that they picked was really bad. Um, keep just keep Ryan Tannehill for one more year. Just stick it out. I mean, and if he starts to play bad, put Malik Willis in there. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. He doesn't have anyone to throw the football to. You need to build around the front seven because actually this team is actually really good in the red zone, and their D line as far as the run stopping is really good. Like they're one of the best run stopping teams in the league, if not the best. Um, they just lost their top end linebacker, so you need to replace him. They need O line help. They lost two O linemen, Nate Davis and potentially Ben Jones. So possibly in the first round, look to get Peter Soronsky if he falls to you, and I think they're picking number 11. Or you can get Paris Johnson from Ohio State. Who knows? Don't overspend on any of these receivers in this class. This isn't a receiver class right now. Don't go out and give any of these receivers big money. Obviously, none of them really got paid that much. So I mean that's a good thing. So you can kind of understand the market of what's going on now. And there's now rumors circulating that Kevin Byard isn't happy in the direction of the team. Trading him away or cutting him is just as bad as giving up AJ Brown damn near. It's just that Kevin Byard's a little bit older, but he still is a really good safety. Uh them being cheap is the issue. They don't want to pay nobody. You're gonna have to pay people to come to Tennessee. We were
What is
talking
this,
about
New
the
England? Yeah,
Tennessee Titans. No,
yeah.
unfortunately, no one wants to come there and solidify, and start a foundation there. Don't get me wrong, I like Mike Vrabel, but this team needs to figure out whether they want to rebuild or they just want to be bad for another few years with some some solid pieces like Henry and Ryan Tannehill and a really good player in Kevin Byard and Jeffrey Simons on the defensive end. So I would rebuild this roster and start from the ground up as long as the the team believes in Mike Vrabel because I think that's what it is. Like Mike Vrabel probably feels like he's on the hot seat at this point, and he has to go along with this roster instead of understanding that he probably has a solidified coaching position. I mean, if Ron Rivera still has a coaching position, then I mean, I'll give Mike Vrabel a head coaching job any day of the week. So they need to rebuild. Oh, and the Texans is already doing what I said they need to do. Trade Brandon Cooks and don't trade Larry Tunzel. Extend them, and that's what they just did. They just also extended Larry Tunzel. Look at that, right on the money.
That's smart right there. I like that location for Brandon Cooks too. I think that's perfect for him.
Yeah,
Potentially a winning situation. We hope out there for Dallas, right?
I think that shows that Dallas is going to be airing the football out a lot more.
All right.
Mm,
A lot of
they
speed on
still
the
gonna be
roster.
they still gonna be Dallas because Mike McCarthy calling the players.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
We finally agree on something.
See, we bring it all back to positivity, man. Positivity, man.
Man,
Hey, fellas, this was a good episode, man. Episode 29. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Remember,
uh-huh.
like, share, subscribe. Hit us up on YouTube, IG, Twitter, TikTok. We are here to help answer your questions. If you do have any questions, hit us up. And you guys already know. Until next time,
Uh-huh.
peace.
We out.